has 70 vills. He's so far in eco. Put some vills on the attack dance, and this will be even better. He's not switching. He's on XP. The cab is going down. It's getting melted by the buildings here. The longbows are still standing and doing damage.
Does he have enough steam though?
There's not enough
running out.
Yeah.
Ethan Bowman, 1.5 fire rate once again, coming up, Trump being king here, and just even though
drag boxing the Naginatas forward, the Coyotes are trying to move, and the Ottoman, he drag boxed the wrong direction, and now the Ottomans are getting snared by the. Oh my
Nagis
goodness!
are shredding this right now, and it doesn't look like he's got.
11s.
I don't see any of the pikes. Where's the pikes on this fight? The Nagis are just cleaning this entire mass up. Coyotes are falling. You got the Ashes getting buffed by the Dynamo. They've got Ashy attacking. They're absolutely shredding everything here. Yumi don't even need to micro this at this point.
He's gonna have to sack off the thrust. Yes, he has to put him in melee here.
Yes.
I don't think he can continue keep microing. Well, he's gonna try, wait for reinforcements and try to make it to his blockhouses. The question is, how much damage will he gonna be taking? This is not as micro from Ungas, but you know, the Tauntauns just have to attack move here. And 1.5 fire rate, they do have staff animation. And the Tauntauns are absolutely insane. But he has drawn him into the double blockhouse. Now fighting under the double blockhouse. The question is it going to be
Muskets are a little behind here. The Cossacks are now getting snared by the Pumas and the Coyotes. The Explorer is now in with the triple XP tech. Some warriors are mixing. The Ottoman's doing absolutely insane amount of damage. He's on plus 36%. Look at him on the attack. That's plus 36%. And he's just
Coyotes on the Strelitz.
Blockhouses are actually doing decent damage here. The Coyotes are kind of going down. The Spears are now trying to move in towards the front, and it's actually a decent fight, I think, for Tabin.
Pretty good fight for Tabin, but there's not very many Cossacks. He's letting a lot of these Coyotes and Pumas kind of shred his Strelitz a bit. Finally getting his Cossacks where they want to be on the Slingers, and gonna be cleaning up.
Here, the ESOCs are out of position. The Carolinians as well, and the ESOCs are gonna go up top. Oh, the tree carrying here. The tree is for Sweden, and there you go. We can see some damage here. The ESOCs, all the ESOCs are dead. That's quite a lot of mass. The ESOCs coming back from fair rate. Nah, GG. Optimus, his mass is getting completely clean. With the ESOCs, that's gonna be a big snare right there, and there is no way those Carolinians are gonna come out alive.
Maybe should be able to swing this water fight. The micro here is so intense. Get in, get back in. Will the Yumi have a chance to snipe him? Look at the ship is at 62 HP.
Oh! Frontline, what a god.
Oh no!
Oh my god! Oh my gosh, Michael, it was insane, and that's GG. Wow, those galleys have such low HP.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, there we go. All right, I'll get back into it. Basically, we will have Baron casting with me in about 20 minutes, give or take, depending on how long this game goes. We might see him in game 2. Thank you guys all for joining the stream. This should be a really fun, entertaining Frontline OnlyBaus, 2 of the highest elo players we have in this tournament. Should be really good. Looking forward to it. Thank you for all the follows, all the subscriptions ahead of time. If I miss it, I do apologize. We'll wait maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. Let people flood in here. Really do appreciate you guys joining us on the stream. We do have for the first game, Frontline, he is coming in as Ethiopia against the OnlyBaus is France, one of his most favorite civs. One thing that we'll want to be looking out for is Frontline has a civ pool that is basically infinite, and then I think the OnlyBaus plays mostly European civs and a few other newer ones. But we'll definitely want to pay attention to that, and if it goes to set game 7, that'll be quite interesting. All right, Kraft, if you want to send us into the game, I don't know if we have it up yet. Okay, no problem. For the Russia game, I don't know if we'll see Russia today, but maybe. Yeah, Ethiopia, interesting civ pick. I'm very intrigued. I do know that Frontline was practicing with pretty much his mentor, Prince of Kabul. Prince told me to say that. I don't know if he's really his mentor or not. But yeah, Frontline practicing lots of games today. Really interested to see what he is gonna pull out with the Ethiopia. OnlyBaus, France, nothing crazy. We've seen it all before. We'll probably see a 12-10, maybe get 8 huts on the field, make it really difficult for Frontline to do whatever. Ethiopia will not have any really any Minutemen, so that'll be interesting. Yes, Punjab is game number 1. All right, we're about to get into it, boys and girls. Starting in just a second. All right. We see over here in the left, the west of the map, we have Frontline playing as the Ethiopian civilization. In the right, we have the OnlyBaus playing as the French in the color red. They're going out, getting a lot of the cows. Interesting to see that Frontline sent his Explorer. Not actually all that interesting because his Explorer is quick. He will want to get as many cows as possible to go and put on that livestock pen that they do start with. It'll help them to sell those cows later for maybe a house or whatnot, as that is one of the many bonuses that African civs do have, is they can sell livestock. How many cows do we see Boss getting in the color red? He has 1, maybe? I believe 8 cows spawn on this map. Oh no, he has 2. Two cows? Maybe 3? So that is quite significant for Frontline. We'll have to see if that plays much into it. He is going to get that food treasure. It's going to help him get up just ever so slightly faster. It does look like Boss is microing to do a 12-10. So that is very, very nice. Nothing too substandard there. The native scout, if he's not careful, will go down. If you want to go and chase that fight, that would be great. He'll run back to the TC and probably should be fine, but not after losing almost half of his HP. He is going to eat his cows. He's going to get up just ever so slightly faster. That is the OnlyBaus. Oh, the scout is going to go down. He's not wasting any villager seconds. He wants to get up as fast as possible. No villagers will be going into the TC, and that native scout sadly does go down. He's clicking up now, 12-10, sending his villagers onto wood, gonna get a house and whatnot. In the deck, we see, okay, Pioneers, maybe a little bit substandard, but nothing too crazy. Gonna have really beefy villas if he ever did want to. Other than that, 600 gold might indicate that he's planning on staying in age 2 for quite a while, and then maybe send that 600 gold just to get up to age 3 at some point if he does spend his 700 gold on other units. Other than that, I don't think we will see any age 4 play from Boss. And then the Hessian Jaegers will be interesting to see if those get sent as well. Can we check the deck from Frontline? Frontline, gotta admit, guys, I don't know a whole lot about Ethiopia, but it does seem very similar. He's gonna stay in Age 2 for maybe a little while, get up to Age 3. Probably won't see any Age 4 play in this matchup, at least nothing too exciting. Does those two cards look to be a little bit exciting? I'm not exactly sure what they do, but I'm interested to see what Frontline has up his sleeves. Boss is up. What's the first card that Boss sends? Okay, 4 villagers. Not too crazy. He's not gonna send anything else. Sometimes you might see, but almost never, 3 Hus first, just to make it really difficult on Ethiopia. But that would be a little bit crazy, a little bit bad. Yep, stable is going into the back. We might see 3 Hus right after that though, just to get a nice big timing of 8 Hus right into Frontline's base. That could be interesting. We'll see what we get. He's going to need to send a lot of vills onto coin, which is what he's doing now to get a big batch of Hus. He is actually idling his stable a little bit longer than you might want to see. Is he even going to train one at all? Okay, he's waiting a little bit longer. He's going to send 700 coin. He is... Oh, now he's getting steel traps. Yeah, he's gonna wait to get that Hus in. Kind of makes it maybe not as worthwhile to age up 1210 if you're not gonna get units out very early. But we shall see. Still no Hus in the queue. Will we train a Hus? Maybe. Okay. Well, let's go and see what Frontline's going. He already has 5 Shotel. I think those are Shotel? No, Javelin Riders. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We already see 5 Jav coming out. That'll be interesting because, like I said, TheOnlyBaus, he did start stable. And so Javelin Riders, they are anti-cav. If he does go a lot of Hus, might be a little bit difficult. It does seem that oh, okay, is Boss going... He made that stable, but he might just be going in an FF. What yeah, he's already aged. Sorry guys. I guess I'm a little slow.
Hello?
If you want to update the cast... Dude, we got Baron in here. How are you doing, Baron?
What's up? I'm doing
Thanks
well.
for joining
Sorry
us.
I'm a little bit late.
Last minute? Oh man, it's like we scheduled you like 5 seconds ago.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't have the casters today. People were a bit busy, so instead of Chosen being forced into a solo cast, I decided to join in and have some fun with them together.
Very cool. No problem. The casters for today, I know some people are typing in the chat. They're not actually Harrison and TheOnlyBaus. TheOnlyBaus is not casting his own game. You are here today with Chosen, myself, that is me, and then you are also blessed with the fine appearance of Baron. Thank you for joining us, Baron.
My pleasure. Yeah, this is like part 2 of the kind of NA sub-bracket, basically. Last week we had Minimotes and Soldier, and Soldier edged it out 4-3. And today we're going to have another great NA series, TheOnlyBaus versus Frontline. So actually the winner of this this match and the winner of Soldier and Ezad will play in the round of 16. So this is definitely very interesting.
I think it'll be the round of 8.
Oh, sorry, the round of 8.
After
exactly,
this,
yes.
yeah,
Yes,
we are so very close. The semifinals. Or would that be the semi-finals?
The semi-quarterfinals.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We have never seen this before. Skirm Goon. That's an interesting combo. What do you think about that, Baron?
I think. So is Ethiopia aging here? No, they're still staying H2 for a little bit.
Oh my goodness, that is a lot of musk.
Yeah, they're gonna have this great timing here. What build order did Frontline decide to go for? Did he ship 700 wood, maybe 700 corn?
I don't know if we caught that exactly.
But wow,
This,
okay, this is a crazy timing here.
Yeah, all of the skirm are about to go down. There will be quite a few goons, so the Minutemen do get called. The villagers are shooting. There's some focus on villagers. A few villagers do go down. Explorer does get the snare. Quite a few shuttles. They might get caught. Up. Yep, loses a few. In all, that is about as good as you want if you're going to be staying in H2. Just keep on killing the skirm mass. That's what you're really worried about, because once he does get that big mass of skirms, the mainly infantry army that you see from Frontline is going to struggle. Another villager does go down. Do we see if he has greatcoats or not? He does. So. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of HP from those CDB. Oh, we do see the skirm. That's not exactly where you want to have them. The shuttles do get on top, but the villagers are actually doing a really good job body blocking. Not a lot of goons here. Lots of idle time.
These CDB, I think they have their market types.
Yeah,
They're very good at repelling H2 mass.
Yeah, the army does get repelled from here. Is a Frontline aging behind this? It would be a little odd if he pushed, but understandably so. Can we move over? He is clicking up, so he won't be staying in H2 for very much longer. And you know, we've already seen what 2-3 shipments get killed from OnlyBaus in H3. It might be a good position from here on out from Frontline if he can sneak out that H3 timing without losing much.
Did he get that fast age up there? Oh yeah, he's getting it right now. So he should be aged up very quickly. This mountain monastery technology allows Ethiopia to get a fast age up, which is quite good. And Ethiopia's units in H3 scale very, very well. Because the main composition they tend to go for is their skirmishers, the Neftania, the Sholtos, and the Gaskania. And all of these can be upgraded at once with the infantry upgrade in the barracks or in the war camps. So
ooh, and we already see... Sorry.
Oh, Sebastopol mortar coming out.
Yeah, Sebastopol mortar will do the trick. We might see pretty much just a... Musk Falk type of a move from Frontline here on out. You get that Sevastopol mortar. You get some of those they call Abuns. Sorry, again, my Ethiopia knowledge is not very good. Yep, the Abuns, the heal from behind, and that Sevastopol mortar will have a very hard time dying.
Let's take a look at Frontline. I mean, OnlyBaus. What is he going for? Generally, I feel like you kind of want 2 Falks somewhat early once you add some curves for body block. But it seems like he's still trying to build his goon mass that got kind of thinned out early on. So I think generally in this matchup, you kind of want like 15-20 goons. You definitely want the skirm advantage because the Neftania mass, once it gets kind of large, becomes extremely strong.
That body flies! It's always so funny seeing the physics of this game and what cannons can do. You get hit by such a Sevastopol mortar shot, and you're flying across the map.
Yep. Those are some big boy cannonballs coming out of the Sebastopol mortar. So what I'm curious about is, so we see Frontline now with the 1 Sebastopol mortar, and OnlyBaus kind of countering this with the 2 Falconet shipment. What's interesting is that if you have like a one-on-one between the Sebastopol mortar and the 2 Falconet shipments, who comes out on top? if you bring the Abins, have very good micro with your Sebastopol mortar, and get the Abins to heal the Sebastopol mortar, I think they can actually take out the 2 Falconet shipments on its own. But let's see if he's capable of getting that first shot on the Falconets that are positioning here on the bottom of the market.
Positioning. They
Will he
don't
get a
get the
volley
shots
here?
off.
Nope.
He's packing again. Oh, this is all in. The Vils are being pulled in. The Falcons are in. This is the timing that he wants. More scrims being sent in from Frontline. He does get a little bit of damage on the Falcons, but not much. Loses maybe 1 scrim there. But he is losing 2
Why?
CDB. Just getting sent across the map. Oh, he does get 1. Oh, okay.
That was a good
He
dodge.
like dodged, yeah. The Vils are getting pulled, they're getting body blocked a little bit. Oh, the skirm do fly. The Explorer's getting on the Falcons. Oh, the Sebastopol mortar goes down. This is what you want to see if you are an OnlyBaus supporter, but 1 Falc about to go down. Not a lot to support after that. The villagers have been idle for a very long time. If this army mass goes down, yep, OnlyBaus calls it. Very, very good first game for Frontline. Gonna possibly set the tone.
So I think the danger here with France. So first of all, I think some people in chat were asking if this is a good matchup for France or for Ethiopia. And I think generally, if Ethiopia can do some damage in H2 and get to H3 safely, their H3 unit composition is just very, very hard to break. We see here that OnlyBaus did not really have the body block necessary to protect his 2 Falconets. And just Skirm Goon and Falconets is generally not enough against a very heavy like infantry composition here. Frontline had some very good micro, putting his musks in stagger mode, coming up with that reinforcing batch of Shawtels, and just taking out the Falconets. And yeah, this matchup is just, I think, because of this, is somewhat Ethiopia favored. So don't count OnlyBaus out yet, but this is a very convincing victory, I think, from Ethiopia and from Frontline. So we'll be going into the second game pretty soon. Yeah, let's take a look at the graphs. What do you think, Chosen?
I think probably the biggest thing was Frontline had a really good timing initially, and Boss did not really have much to be able to push out the initial push. He had to lose quite a few villagers, lost way more skirms than I would have wanted. Even though, you see that military graph, like Frontline does lose a lot of units there, but you kind of don't mind if you get 4 or 5 CDB in that same fight as well. You get the skirm shipments killed. They don't have any extra goons. Like that's you just want to buy yourself time. How many villagers did go down in that fight? Okay. I thought there were more, but okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was wow, that fight went way worse for Frontline than I was thinking then. Wow. Yeah. I mean, just impressive. Frontline was able to pull it out.
Look at that Ethiopia eco though. That is just ridiculous. Getting those little like bumps up when each time he sells a cow. And in addition to that, just the Abans, the mountain monasteries, just a decent Ville eco behind it, and he just pulls far ahead, even of France. And I mean, a lot of the France eco here is being idled, and that's why you see these large plateaus around 8-9 minutes and around 13-14 minutes. But I mean, overall, Ethiopia has a very, very good economy and very, very well scaling units in H3. So I think maybe the game plan was a little bit off from OnlyBaus. You kind of want to punish Ethiopia early because they have kind of weak early tempo in H2. Playing kind of passively as France, I think, is a little bit doomed in this matchup.
Yeah. And I mean, the eco graph is kind of a little bit fake news because you pull your villagers to fight all the time as France, and you even see the last 2 minutes. That's all that they were doing. So, but very, very interesting. Can we get back to? Do we know what the Civ picks are for game number 2? Auto mirror for game 2. That'll be interesting. We can't say that someone lost due to lame, can we?
Let's quickly run an ad before we get into the next game.
Oh yes, good point. Everybody, stay for the ad.
If possible. Nope, it says failed to start. So let's just get right into it. So what is the matchup in the second game? I think I saw it was an auto mirror. This is another pretty dynamic matchup nowadays. I mean, one person can go for an FI. I don't know. Other person can boom in H3. Last week when I casted the Soldier Minimal series, they had a auto mirror as well, and that was one of the most exciting games so far in this tournament, in my opinion. We saw Minimotes going for a pretty heavy 3TC boom, while Soldier sent an early Spahi shipments and went directly into H4, and we relied on his H4 tempo shipments to keep himself in the game. And eventually Soldier managed to take that game. So I wonder how this one will play out on the map Scandinavia.
I think that it's slightly auto-favored, although I could be wrong about that.
I mean, auto's always favored, and especially in this mirror matchup, of course, yes. I mean, if we were to put our money on it, I definitely agree that
Otto is in fact favored.
Otto will win.
Yeah, it'll be close.
So, I think so. Craft, can you try again?
I think Frontline was expecting to see Eero here. So, interesting to see Ottoman mirror. Eero is maybe not as common of a civ for OnlyBaus, and I believe Otto is one of his more favored civs. So we'll see. Boss wants to come back, get it closer to 1-1. The series. I mean, if Frontline takes this game here, it's gonna be very difficult to get back after that. We do see. You want to pronounce that name? I don't know if I can pronounce the name, but they just subscribed.
Danilo? Danilo? Thank you for the Prime subscription.
Yes,
and speaking of Prime subscriptions, guys, so that is free. We're just taking money from Amazon. We're taking money from Jeff Bezos. So if you are on a computer, you can check if you have a Prime subscription available. And all of these subscriptions really help out ESOC in hosting these tournaments and providing prize pools. So we will be doing a little bit of selling out here. And if you have a free Prime sub, please consider using it on ESOC.
It does help us to host even better tournaments. I heard the more you subscribe, the more likely it is that we get Kaiserklein back. I don't know if that's true or not.
Must be true. I mean, suppose you guys gave us 100 or 200 subs today. I think we could easily get a $1,000 tournament for only vanilla civs, and that might just be enough to lure Kaiser back into the game.
Or I know there are probably some GUA fans in the chat. If we did a $1,000 Brit only without GMT tournament, I think we could see GUA come back to the game.
Yep.
I'll sub if OnlyBaus wins. All right, we got to change the script, guys. I'm just kidding.
Craft, is everything okay? Can you run the stream or? Okay. Can you start your stream?
On,
yeah, we can't see on Discord.
Sorry, guys. A little bit of technical difficulties.
Craft, can you stream on? Oh, cool. Thanks.
There we go.
All right. Do you want to do the introductions here, Chosen?
I would be happy to. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, in game number 2, with Frontline in the lead, we see Frontline in the color blue as the Ottoman civilization. Starting very normally, going up for that TP, gonna go grab it. And then at the very bottom of the map, in the color red, we see TheOnlyBaus, also as the Ottoman civilization. They are both starting with a TP, both starting with a mosque. We've seen it all 1,000 times. He's going to chop 50 wood, going to get his house up. He's going to age up to age 2 faster than most civs can, and he's going to be happy. Both of them are.
So we see that here in the bottom of the map, OnlyBaus is already chopping for a house. So it looks like he will be going for the three village shipments. On the other hand, if we take a look on the north side of the map, we see that Frontline has all of his villagers immediately on berries. Can we see if he's macroed for a house at all? Frontline. So he's not. He's saving that 50 wood. So I expect he will be sending capitalism first. So this map, there's pretty decent water. I mean, there's 2 whales on each side of the map, and there's quite a decent amount of fish. And I mean, everybody knows, right? Otto with a water laming, they have a very strong early water economy. But it looks like, at least from here, that Frontline is deciding to go for an anti-water approach. Let's go over to TheOnlyBaus and see what he's doing. Does he have a deck yet? Okay, so 1 versus 1 water Jan. So it's pretty much the exact same deck. I mean, also an anti-water deck. He has that 2 kind of caravel, or what is it called? The galleys. Yeah,
Galleys.
the 2 galleys and then the 1 frigate in H3 for the anti-water. But he also has that 700 food. Every time you see that 700 food in an Ottoman player's deck, you should be expecting some early Janissary mass. And as our lovely producer Crowd pointed out, both of them have that 700 food. So we might be expecting some early Jan contests in the middle of the map.
Very interesting. I would not be shocked if Frontline adds Abyss like very, very, very early on. Abyss are one of the most broken units in the game, in my estimation, at least in Age 2. They do 5 of them do almost the same damage output as 15 skirmishers in Age 3. It's pretty crazy.
Up. Yeah, I definitely agree. In this kind of auto mirror, you don't want to be making pure Jans, because even 5 Abyss in the back line gives you so much value, and they can kite forever. So anybody who's played some TTM will know that in this kind of matchup, where you have Jan, Abyss, Deli, you always want to go for the Abyss first. Make sure the Abyss are dead, because if you have even just 2 or 3 Abyss surviving and your opponent has none, those Abyss guns just dish out a ton of damage.
Yep, they've been coined by many a player abuse guns, because they're very easy to abuse and they abuse the opponent very well. Now we've seen 3 vills coming in from Frontline, so his economy is going to be bolstered again, but he had that trickle of, was it 1.5 coin or 1.25 coin, whatever, this whole time while those vills were not in.
Interested with
Oh,
this,
1.65.
he decided to put 3 sellers in his deck, but not the 5 Uruk's card in H2, I believe. He only has that 700 food. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think 5 Vills is a pretty strong card for Ottoman. But let's see what he does here. He's immediately putting down a military building with that 400 wood that he aged up with. So he has that barracks in the back. I expect he will ship 700 wood right now to add in artillery foundry or something. Let's see.
What is he sending?
He's floating the shipment for a little bit. But as we were talking about this in the chat, I saw someone saying he's not going. None of these players are going for the Shake 2.6k wood at 440 build. So that is a reference to the Sublime Porte build on this map, where you go basically pure food economy in the beginning, and then send that Sublime Porte card to get you a ton of wood for you to drop docks, drop infrastructure, and start fishing like crazy. So yeah, we won't be seeing that. I think it's a little bit trolly. But here, these players are kind of very standard players, and they're going for some very standard play. So on the side of TheOnlyBaus, it seems like he is also starting Jans with the racks safely in their base. So no forward basing here from either player. What I'm most intrigued to see is what their second military building will be, because hopefully it'll be Abyss guns.
Yeah, I think the Abyss guns are going to be coming in a little bit sooner for Frontline, just because he sent 700 wood instead of 700 coin. 700 wood is being picked up, or did no, he's sending 700 wood. The Jans, the Explorer goes down, which when you just have 5 Jans a pop, having a healthier Explorer does definitely make quite a big of a difference. Okay, nothing too crazy yet going on. It is interesting as well to note they both decided to take TPs on either side, and so the if either one wanted to go down to the other side of the map and add an extra TP while the other opponent wasn't paying as much attention, get that what is it? The trade route upgrade. Oh my goodness. Stagecoach. Get stagecoach. Although it's not stagecoach when it's on the water. At least I don't think that they have a horse and buggy in the water. Yeah, trade galleons. Okay. That is possible as well. We are going to see Abyss coming out now. He got a full batch, 5 Abyss. 5 Abyss with about 15 Janissaries. Yeah, this is a pretty impressive army to have at 6:30. Explorer will be coming along, and I think this is the time to push out. If Boss gets that, I think he's going straight for the TP. If that TP goes down while Boss is aging, he is not going to have that shipment curve that you want to see when you're going up to age 3. Let's see what happens.
So Baus here sneaking an age up with the Admiral of the Sea, so he will have that 300 wood and the galleon. Can we take a quick look at Baus's point of perspective? I don't think he's scouted the water fully, so this seems a little bit kind of just he wants water control, but really Frontline is not going for water, and he's kind of pretty all in here in the, well, I guess not all in, but he has a significant military advantage pushing into Baus's base right now. So
well, one thing with the galley is if he ships it into the right spot, which I think he's checking right now, Boss is with that Explorer, and maybe just a little bit late. If he switches the spawn point, then it won't happen. But keeps that spawn point with the galley, he'll be able to take down the TP from Frontline because it is on the edge of the map. So we will have to see if he does decide to do that. Frontline, he did take down the TP of OnlyBaus, so he is going to be down on the shipment curve very soon. I think Frontline has to expect that he is, in fact, aging. He's going to take down one house. He is going to have just ever so slightly enough houses to be... Oh, now he does not have anything. He's going to have to cancel that Janissary if he wants to be able to send a shipment. Okay,
yeah, this is great for Frontline. Well, his goal here is just to do infrastructure damage and delay OnlyBaus, which he's managing to do very well here. Baus's first shipment is not even being sent yet, and he's lost 2 houses and a barracks. That 400 wood is extremely hard to replace. And if you note, the Asia bonus that he got was the 300 wood. So that's basically been completely nullified already with this infrastructure damage that Frontline has inflicted on OnlyBaus's base.
And you see, he does keep on canceling the, oh, but now he sends it, but it's too late. It doesn't matter. I mean, he's going to get the, can we look at the fight just a little bit more? Okay. Yeah, I mean, he can just get away now, and you're not going to see any guard Janissary anytime soon. He does not have the wood economy, and in order to be able to, get another barracks down and then also get that Janissary upgrade. And Abyss guns do a very good job against Falconets. Now he is getting it down. He's buying all the wood, but he's not going to have any housing.
Look at how popped OnlyBaus is right now. 52 out of 40. So he needs the 2 houses down to just make another unit. He is researching veteran Jans, as we pointed out earlier. But look at these Abyss. They're in stagger mode. And at this point, there might be enough of them to kind of... Okay, well, that's not
one shot. That's not what you want. That's what happen, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to just get caught out. They're playing chicken, but... I don't know if
Jan's coming in. The Falc's getting a pretty nice positioning here. They might be able to... Oh, okay. So Baus is backing up a little bit, but I was saying they might be able to corner them on the shoreline and force the Abyss to kind of take a bad position fight. But here, Frontline kind of navigating, trying to sneaking away along the shoreline and actually moving in towards Baus's base, which can be a little bit dangerous because you might get sandwiched by any reinforcing batches. Unfortunately, as we mentioned, Baus is just completely housed right now, and there are no reinforcing batches coming. Can we take a quick look at Frontline's point of view?
Yes, please. Is he up? Yes, he is up now. Ooh, this is like, if you are a OnlyBaus fan, this is not looking, what you say, good. If Frontline is not careful, though, he might lose his entire army. Those Falconets are going very fast. The Explorer is going to sack himself so that they can get away. I mean, yeah, this is perfect. I mean, he's just going to keep on running around until he's able to get the Janissary upgrade. He's sending in 1,000 wood first. It's a little bit greedy, but you can get away with it when you when OnlyBaus just can't kill your army right now. Those falconets are being a little bit risky. If there were ever any cav, and they did end up finding those cannons. Oh, those are some good volleys. The veteran Janissary mass is going down though.
Yeah, the score is still, I guess, pretty close, but there is a slight edge for Baus. This might be because he shipped the 5 Vil shipment. I think we might have missed that, but so Frontline is on 24 Vils. How many Vils is Baus on right now? 27. So yeah, I believe Baus sent that 5 Vil shipment early on. So he has a slight economic lead. Now the Jans
He
are, this is
also
some
has
great
2
split
TCs
micro.
down.
So the Jans are now on top. The Falcons are coming down in the bottom. This might be a cleanup here for OnlyBaus. Yep, the Falcons continuing to roll in, trying to catch up to the Janissaries. Vet Jans comes in, but a lot of the Jan mass has been thinned out already. The Abyss have been basically completely sacrificed. One long-range locked-on volley from the Falconets. He decides to unpack and continue chasing the Jans, but I think Frontline's army gets to live another day, but I think actually Baus has the military and economic advantage for now. Frontline now shipping in 2 Falconets of his own. I believe he's adding TCs with that 1k wood. Yep, he has one down. But okay, so this is OnlyBaus' TC getting sieged. So I'm not sure why he went that aggressive, but I guess that's okay. Calling Miniman, Jan's catching up.
The Falcons aren't going to be here for another 10-15 seconds. You do see that the galley probably needed to use it a little bit sooner. The TP finally does go down though. He is also making a culverin. Very interesting to see that. I think that that's a really, really good play. He'll be able to kill the galley as well after everything's said and done if he did so choose.
Oh, making 2 culverins.
Yeah, 2 culverin. I mean, in this matchup, if you have the Falc lead, it's very, very hard to come back. We will have to see if this TC does go down. I can only imagine that it will. Now,
So the army's getting positioned
come
a little bit to the south. Like if you can just look a little bit. He's posturing the Falconets to the south. One volley goes off. The Falcons, the Culverins connect on the Falcons.
Does go down.
And this is all about the artillery micro, the Cove micro. The Jan mass is a little bit in favor of OnlyBaus right now, but the artillery advantage is definitively in Frontline's advantage. The second
Culverin does finally go down.
The Abyss try to sack themselves for one of the Falcons, but they don't quite get there, and they get decimated here by the Falcons and the Jans. And ooh,
Mamelukes are coming from Boss. Ooh, that is definitely one way to get back into this game. And you do see a cheeky priest is about to be trained from Frontline. He's going to heal up that low HP Falconet. What a play! And oh my goodness, I am afraid right now. If we see Mamelukes for Frontline, he is gonna have a very hard time dealing with that with all the other things that
yeah, I mean,
OnlyBaus
like 20
has.
Jans will take forever to kill these 4 Mamelukes, so he definitely needs more anti-cap, more mass. Look at these absolute giga chads coming in here. These Mamelukes, 1450 HP, 40% melee, range resist. These Jans are gonna take 3 or 4 volleys to maybe kill one of them. And in that time, they can just decimate the artillery and snare everything. So
now
let's look
he
at this fight.
sees.
Oh, the Jan's trying to get dragged to the front. They are in the front. Good micro from OnlyBaus here. Pulling the Mamelukes back as soon as the melee connects, then going back immediately to keep the snare on. As long as the Jans are in range attack, they are not a threat to these Mamelukes. The only threat is when they're in melee. Look at that once again. Pulling the Mamelukes back as soon as the Jans enter that melee mode. Very good micro from OnlyBaus, taking a few favorable trades and not really taking any shots from those Falconets.
Yeah, he got 1 or 2 good volleys, but nothing too substantial. And they were mainly on the Mamelukes, and those Mamelukes are still very healthy. You see OnlyBaus, he is electing to go for Sfahi now, and there's gonna be so much cavalry on this map, and I don't know if Frontline has something to deal with it.
Emrin.
There will be 4 Falconets on the board for Frontline, which is definitely a lot, but if you
Hazır.
have 9 high damage, high HP cavalry, I'm not sure that's going to be enough. We'll
Yeah, we
have
need
to
some
see.
more anti-cav for sure from Frontline here. The Spahi, I think at this point, with the Mamelukes, can simply right-click, and he has enough Jans in the back to do enough damage here. Does he have Jan combats in? Can we take a quick look at the Jans? Nope, so not yet. That's okay. So actually, once Jan combat comes
Duke
in, a
Overing do come
Janissary-
out as well. Oh man.
Ooh, no, this is not gonna work for Frontline. This. Okay, we have a big smash here. As I said, the cavalry can just go straight in and just right-click everything. They will just stay there tanking fire, tanking these Jan's melee hits forever. The Falcons just got a huge volley from the Coverins. 2 Falcons going down, 3 Falcons going down. All of the that was 4 actually, and that is just GG for OnlyBaus, evening up the score now. And yeah, I mean that cavalry mass, the 5 Spahi, 4 Mamelukes, they just will not die to Janissaries. You need either a massive mass of heavy infantry, or you need cav archers in this kind of situation. Those Falcons are just going to do nothing to them. And OnlyBaus, I think, getting a little bit of a build order win here. Despite Frontline, I think, accomplishing his goals in H2, doing some damage, doing some idle time, sieging infrastructure, OnlyBaus was just a little bit ahead throughout the game, I think, in terms of the economy, and it was able to very quickly catch up to Frontline with respect to the military mass as well. So I think this was a little bit of a, as I mentioned, a build order diff from OnlyBaus. So it shows that he had some very good preparation and was able to tie up the series.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter if you lose a TC, 3 houses, and a barracks, and also a TP line at that. When you are rushed as Ottoman, all you need to do is click up to age 3 faster than the other guy, and it seems like you'll win.
Yep, for sure.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, the shipment curve was pretty similar for most of the time until the TP went down, and then Frontline was ahead on the shipment curve, but at the end they both had the same number of shipments.
Yeah, only about like 20 seconds. I think it's very hard to take advantage of these small shipment timings. So
Yeah.
1440 versus what, 50? Oh, okay, so maybe almost a minute. Okay, so that's like
Yeah.
a little bit significant, but I think, I mean, as we mentioned, OnlyBaus's economy was just a little bit better. He managed to keep his mass alive in H3 and kind of just outmass Frontline. Going for that artillery, I think, was the right decision from Frontline in the sense that he saw a very large Janissary mass, and you kind of need those Falconets to deal with that. But I think he underestimated OnlyBaus's economy, and he was able to get that 1k coin into Mamelukes and then save for Spahi and have that huge 9 just unkillable cavalry units. So
Yeah.
let's get out of the game here and see what the next Civ picks are. I'm pretty excited to see how Frontline might bounce back from this.
We are going to see Aztec versus Russia, game 3.
So who's Aztec?
Aztec will be Frontline versus OnlyBaus's Russia.
This
Someone
must
was-
be just really good for Aztec, right? Oh, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. Someone in the chat was asking if you would see a Russia play, and I wasn't sure, but this is the map out of all the maps. Russia does well on it, but against Aztec, I am not sure. This is definitely the Civ that Frontline wanted to go, I'm pretty sure, on this map anyways, and I think it does really well against Russia. Why is Mongpa playing under the nickname Baron?
Excuse me. That's not very nice. I'll have you know, I think... never mind. I don't think I've ever actually played Mahompa in a game. We did some TTMs a while back, so... I mean, we're definitely distinct people. That was my claim. But anyways,
And-
yeah, I mean this matchup now, Aztec versus Russia. What do you guys think? I mean, I feel like Aztec just wins easy peasy here. You have like you can have 4-minute 30 Jaguar Prowl Knights just absolutely destroying the Russian forward base villagers, and yeah, I just have no idea how Russia kind of plays into that kind of early Jaguar Prowl Knight pressure at around the 4-minute mark. So
Can
let's get
we
into the game.
start the ad actually really quickly,
Ooh, yes,
so that
let's do
that's
that.
not going on in between the game?
If it works.
And while the ad is going, can we get a prediction going as well?
I shall do that. All right, so I started the ad now.
Oh.
So last game was an OnlyBaus victory, so you guys get your points there. And we'll be moving on to game 3, where we have Aztec versus Russia. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to submit your predictions. And there we go.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
I said
think
Frontline and Russia instead of Frontline and OnlyBaus. Sorry about that.
okay.
All right, let's head into the game.
Yeah, let's go into it.
All right, we are on what's the map name? I'm very
Bengal.
Bengal, that's the one. Yeah, I honestly hate this map, but let's put that aside. On the west side of the map, we have Frontline in the color blue playing as the Aztecs. One of these, I think, very, very strong civilizations in the current meta. And on the east side of the map, we have Russia with OnlyBaus playing in the color red. And this is a no TP map, that is the key, and that makes Russia a stronger pick than it would normally be. However, I think Aztec doesn't actually really need a TP. They have these warrior priests, they have such an amazing XP income with their dances and their community plaza. So I don't know about this matchup. I feel like, as I mentioned, that Frontline with Aztec will have the Civ advantage here. So I'm very excited to see how this one plays out.
One thing to note, Frontline not really electing to worry too much about the cows around the map just yet, or the yaks, or whatever they are. But it does seem like Boss spent a decent portion of his time so far getting a few yaks. Do we know what the yak count is right now? He has 2 currently. He's about to have a 3rd. And I think just by luck, I think Frontline has one or 2. Yeah.
So maybe a bit of a treasure contention on the bottom
you
of
got
the
3?
map there. Can we take a quick look? The explorers seem to be chasing each other. Yeah, so that Aztec explorer actually is running away for once. Usually you'd see that the Aztec explorer is the big bully, but I think he took a treasure earlier on with that 100 food, if I remember correctly, and took a significant amount of damage, forcing him to kind of back off from this fight. But I mean, yesterday I was playing some lobbies with Soldier, and he Aztec'd me 1 or 2 games, and that Age 1 army with that super tanky, powerful Aztec explorer just completely bullies any European explorer in H2, and can sometimes even deny a TP in transition, like with Germany. So yeah, this is a bit of a, I guess, a reversal to see the European explorer for once chasing the Aztec one away.
The little brother growing up and being able to beat the older brother in a fight. Mainly because the older brother is now lost an arm or something like that and got beat up by a bunch of tigers.
Yeah, he just fought off 2 tigers. He's right now fighting off a flock of monkeys. He's getting scratched. He's getting mauled.
Another thing to mention as well, there aren't any human any treasures on this map, which does definitely make it more difficult for Frontline, who wants to get that Pokemon army as quickly as possible. But he really cannot use that buff that he has to be able to convert them. Whereas you could have on cat or whatnot, but they changed it. You can only convert humans now. Can we check decks? All right, we do see first card, pretty standard. The Warrior Priest, they're going to get to dancing for that XP or for more Warrior Priests, which is not going to be uncommon at
Oh,
all.
let's look at the middle of the map. I think the Jaguars are moving in. We don't see any forward base builds from either side, but yeah, look at this. 3 minute and 40 second. These Jaguars are on the map. By 4 minutes, they will be in Russia's base, already causing idle time and causing pressure.
He
So this
might
is
just
just
get that blockhouse
disgusting.
down. Yeah, he sees it. He's going to have lots of siege. That blockhouse is
Oh
going
my
to go
God.
down. Oh my goodness. 500 HP going down every time those throw, and it is going to go down. Oh my goodness. That's incredible.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, buildings
And
take...
they get called. The
He
Minutemen.
gets the
Oh my
Minutemen pump
goodness.
as well and still loses the blockhouse. I mean, this just looks like GG to me.
It'll be very interesting to see what OnlyBaus does to come back from this. He's going to have to build another blockhouse, which takes ages. The Minutemen, they're going to
worst
try and
part
make
is-
the best of themselves, but oh boy.
Yeah, while you're sieging when a building is being built, it takes 4 times the damage, I believe. So the fact that Aztec can get these units in your base so early, I think is just a little bit unbalanced. I mean, like, some civs don't even age up at this time, right? And like at around the 3 to 4 minute mark, and you already have 4 of these chonky high siege units in your base, causing idle time, sieging infrastructure. I mean, what can Russia do? They can't FB. They can't take map control. They're losing their blockhouse at 4 minutes in the game, or at 4:30 in the game. I mean, this is just, I think, a definitive civ difference. And now this Eagle Scout's just getting all of the Minutemen on his own, taking down the Explorer for 90 XP. Aztec is just running away with this game.
Are we going to see a forward base with that villager?
Looks like
What's
it.
that villager going to do? Yep, we do see a forward base. I'm surprised he didn't... Oh, actually, he does have 2 villagers there. No, he does not have 2 villagers there. Only 1 villager. It's going to take him about 7 years to build that, but that's okay. What do we... Okay. Man, he is... I mean, and it's okay. I mean, Frontline, he did the damage that he needed to do. He's slowed down OnlyBaus an incomparable amount of time. He can send his 5 villagers. He has... Does he have his 10 warrior priests already? Can we check that out? He has 10. Oh my goodness. That is the equivalent of, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's 10...
TPs?
pretty much 10
11
TPs.
basically.
11 TPs he has right now. While OnlyBaus is sitting there with the hands in his pants, just really upset at the events that have gone on. He sends 700 gold now. He gets first units on the board pretty much, besides the Minutemen. He went 700 wood, 700 gold. No intention of sending the 5 Cossack to raid, at least not yet. He's probably going to send those and get another batch of 5 Cossacks, maybe? But, oh my goodness. Like, he's going to need to build another house. He's, like, yeah. Wow.
We just do the math, right? Basically, what has happened so far? Frontline has sent the Jaguar Prowl Knights for 400 food, and in exchange, he's gotten the 250 wood worth of the blockhouse, baited a Minutemen pop that got no value, and he still had 2 Jaguars left alive after all of that. And he buys himself enough time to get a 10 Warrior Priest boom off for free. Like, what kind of opening is this, right? This is just an incredibly strong opening in whatever matchup. But now we have a little bit of a skirmish. We have Tauntauns out for Frontline and a pretty substantial Strellet mass. And now OnlyBaus is shipping 5 Cossack followed by 4 Cossack. So he will have a decent amount of cavalry.
He actually trained those 5 Cossack. This is going to be 5 Cossack coming in.
5 Cossack. Okay.
We will see a connect, but I don't know if this is the trade that you want to have. I think that you could find better. Going in under the blockhouse, I don't know if you need to push the issue. You're winning economically. Just
Oh, a huge villager.
Oh my
catch
goodness,
on the way out,
so
though.
many villagers. Okay, this is the time. If you are only boss, you have to push right now, and he does. So many Cossacks on the field. He's backing away. What unit follow-up do you see from Frontline? He might have just thrown. Okay, you do see Puma Spearman. You do see an extra amount. He does get the snare. Okay, now it's time. Okay, he's and you don't see. They're both just gonna see who can better micro. Struts are going down. The Ruskets are going down. They're not nearly as good as other Musketeers
for Russia.
Those Puma Spearmen are putting in work. They do such a good job. And even if this is like a fairly bad trade for Frontline, I don't think that it matters a whole lot. Oh, and that whole time Frontline was getting that war buff with the community plaza, and now he can just go back, get all that XP. He can dance for his explorer again, and have a very strong follow-up.
Ooh, we got Kaiser Klein in chat.
We
Welcome
see
back.
Kaiser Klein, dude.
What will it take to get you back into one of these tournaments, Kaiser? But anyways, I don't even think that trade went that poorly for Frontline. I mean, if the Cossack had popped from the forward what is that called? Blockhouse, yes, and had gotten the snare off on the Autontans, there might have been a chance because the anti-cav from Aztec was actually a bit late. But here we see another engagement here. A lot of Coyotes on the field, a lot of Cossack. They kind of have the mirror composition here. Just Skirm, Cav. On the other hand, I think Aztec can more easily add some anti-cav here. Just a couple Puma Spearmen will make this entire engagement a lot better. It will make it very difficult for OnlyBaus to micro when you have a big smash with Puma Spearmen, with Coyote, the Strelets. You gotta split fire the Pumas in time before the Cossacks get deleted. So that's what I kind of want to see here from Frontline, is to add a little bit of anti-cav here, and that will give him the big advantage in any type of cav engagement. Oh, a very aggressive war husk, just containing Russia. A raid coming in here. Does he see the Vils on the mines? He's gonna commit to it a little bit, but he should back out. He might get surrounded here by the Cossack. The Cossack going in for a flank, getting a snare off on one of the Coyotes, trying to get an angle to snare. This might be a good fight, but no. Okay, Baus decides to back off here, which I think is probably the right decision.
And Frontline, he's just putting OnlyBaus in a tomb. Like, he's going to be out of food in the next 2-3 minutes. There aren't berries on this map. This is the time. OnlyBaus has to push out now. He has to trade this army off. This is the time to do it. Get your villagers in there. Maybe they can soak enough damage where this is okay.
I mean, Frontline does not have to push the issue here. He knows he's in an advance, like in the lead. He just has to keep his mass alive, not throw units, and just he knows that Baus is about to run out of food, as you said. So he just needs to keep his mass alive, just contain and prevent this timing that is surely about to come from Russia.
Lots of villager seconds have been. Yeah, lots of villagers have been idled for quite a while now. That remass is going to be very difficult for Baus.
Is this going to be the big deciding fight? I think so. OnlyBaus decides to commit the Cossacks into the Coyote, but the Coyote are getting some amazing trades here. Oh, that one Cossack, he put it right in a trample mode, killing like 6 or 7 warriors, but actually now the Cossacks are still alive, but the Coyotes have been thinned out. He still has 3 or 4 Cossacks alive, but can he push out? I don't think so. 4 is not enough here to commit under the blockhouse and try to completely clean up the Aztec army. More Coyotes coming in, a 6 batch here. Again, I kind of want to see a little bit of anti-cav here from Frontline. Just like 6 or 7 Pumas.
Puma. I'm not sure where they went, though, in that fight. But yeah. Oh, actually, there are berries on this map. I apologize. I lied. And he is putting a blockhouse right where that next hunt is, so he will have food for a little longer. But after that, oh boy, it's going to be difficult. He is going to catch this raid before it even starts. The low HP Cossack didn't have a chance, didn't have a prayer.
So let's look at the Vil counts here. So Frontline with, sorry, okay, OnlyBaus with 35, and what is Frontline on? 38. So it's pretty close. Maybe let's check the market text as well in this little kind of breather period. OnlyBaus, oh, we have to switch the perspective to OnlyBaus to check the market. Take a quick look at the market just to see what he has. It's easier that way. Yeah, so he has steel traps and he has placer mines. On the other hand, Frontline, what does he have?
Okay.
Pretty similar, so no
I
steel
mean, he's not going to
trap,
mine coin.
and
so
he's
that's-
not going to mine coin, exactly. So that's, I guess, pretty similar eco right now. Oh, another engagement happening on the front line. The Coyote mass has been replenished decently, and they're getting, oh, almost committed onto the Strelets. But this is what I mean. I think these Cossack will start demolishing these Coyotes at this point. Another batch coming out here. No anti-cap for Aztec, so will these Cossack live long enough? A Vil pull coming in, soaking a little bit of damage. The Warriors actually giving pretty good DPS in the back. Another batch of Coyote coming out now, and I think this is a cleanup. There's about, what, 10, 15 Coyotes left? And that is just GG from OnlyBaus. Wow, that fight kind of came down to the wire. Just having those two those two war huts firing during the fight, immediately ready for those reinforcing batches of Coyotes, I think sealed the deal for Frontline, and GG.
Yeah, I mean, it was an impressive, like, almost comeback from OnlyBaus after having all of that terrible misfortune happen at the very early stages of the game. He was able to come back and maybe a Cossack pop, 5 Cossack, somewhere coming out somewhere else might have been the game deciding factor. Pretty impressive, all things considered. All res gathered, and even with all of that idle time, OnlyBaus was considerably ahead that whole time, but it just didn't matter. Frontline had that XP curve. He had the war dance whenever he wanted. Pretty impressive stuff from both sides, though, all things considered.
All right, let's head back into. Oh, look at that shipment. How many shipments was he up with that
He was
11
up at
TP
least
eco?
3 shipments.
Up 3 shipments. That's what you love to see. So okay, at some point it was 11 to 10, right? Or 8? 11 to 7? 11 to 7, sorry. Okay. So that's a 4 shipment difference around the 14-minute mark. Like, tell me Aztec is not good. You have 4 of these like super strong units in their base at like 350, and then you have more shipments than Russia can, like, I don't even know. You have 4 more shipments than Russia before 15 minutes. It's just kind of ridiculous. But anyways, GG's, and let's maybe head back into the home screen.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what are we gonna get for game number 4. We're gonna keep it close.
The Civ picks are in. We have Frontline playing as the French, and OnlyBaus playing as the Spanish. And while this is a very classic vanilla matchup, French versus Spain. I think generally the way that this matchup goes, Spain wants to go a little bit greedier with Spanish gold, maybe 1k wood, and then they can really mass skirmishers and rodaleros, because rod skirm generally, at least early on, generally with a large enough mass, tends to do well against skirm goon, because I mean rods kind of counter goons, and they even do decently on skirms if they can get into that connect. So that's what we would kind of like to see from Spain. And on the other hand, for France, they have the slightly better scaling economy, and they have those very strong cuirassiers that they would like to add at some point. So cav combated cuirassiers and a big cav switch at some point when the rod numbers are a bit thinned out is the win condition for France, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think Frontline intends to go 12-10. He'll have probably like 8 Hussars in Boss's base. It's going to make it very difficult to get that age up. I don't know if we'll even be able to see Boss get up to age 3 and get that critical mass before Frontline is really putting on that pressure. It'll be interesting to see Boss bounce back. Do you want to change the score? We'll see Frontline up 2-1 right now, and then maybe put the prediction up. Next map will be New England. Very, very old map. It's been around for ages. There are some pretty fun things as well that you can see with the pond. You can move the boat shipment point and whatnot. Craft, if you want to change us over, I think we are good to go to start game number 4, unless we want to start the ad so that it doesn't play during the game. And we're off. All right. I will introduce the players. In the color blue, we have Frontline playing as the civilization France, as we notated. He is going to try and get that 85 wood treasure. It's going to be very strong for him. If he wants, he could pretty much do the 12-10 without much of an issue, but he is going to go for that TP, but he's going to be sad to find that OnlyBaus has already put it up. He saw it really quickly. That War Dog is going to find the Explorer and is going to make that life very difficult on the French Explorer. Didn't even get a chance to go and see the color OnlyBaus playing in the color red at the very bottom of the map, playing very standard Spain things. He's going to get those villagers on wood. He's going to get his house up lickety split, and it's everything is going to be good and well in the Spain game plan. What treasure is he going to be getting? Could you please go and check that really quickly? We do see the food treasure. 80 food is huge. There are lots of food treasures on this map. Very easy to get with those black bears being very weak and only doing 10 damage. You can kite them and get just about everything you need out of them.
Yeah, I doubt either player will be going for pretty heavy water. I think more of the most of the contention will be over that long 4 TP line in the middle of the map. Let's take a quick look at their decks. Maybe they have a frigate, maybe they have some anti-water, because the benefit of anti-water decks on this map is you can actually pond lane a little bit, smack a frigate down in the middle ponds, and that will give you a little bit of an advantage in any fight and allow you to get some map control. Furthermore, I think, so this is a very standard deck from OnlyBaus here. I think it looks basically exactly the same as the deck that I have.
1v1 French, so it does look like he was expecting possibly to play France against Frontline's France. So be interesting to see the timings that he has set up.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing 3 Hus plus 5 Hus batch. I'm not even sure if that works against Spain. I feel like you can kind of just do normal Spain things, but ship 7 rods early. And, I mean, 8 Hus can't really fight 7 rods, plus the danger of minimum fire. Sorry, of TC fire. So, I doubt he'll be going for Hussar play like that. But maybe he's still semi. But, I think generally, France wants to kind of start a Rax in this matchup. But, not too sure.
We will have to see what Frontline wants to do. You know, I'm only 1500 elo, so my my small brain in comparison to Frontline can only do so much. So we'll have to see what Frontline has to show for the France play.
Yep. So OnlyBaus getting a pretty good age of time. Going up with 15 vills, and now he's chopping in transition. So this is a little bit odd. Is he trying to get a... So he's already built a market in transition, and probably wants hunting dogs and placer mines. And maybe he's even macroing here for steel traps. This is actually a little bit odd. Maybe he's going for a more greedy kind of variation of the standard Spain FF. So I'm kind of curious to see. Will we maybe even see like this kind of Lionheart style build where you ship 5 vills first and then 700 wood and just mine for the coin? Not entirely sure. So okay, no, he's still shipping the 700 coin first. I expect he'll follow it up with 700 wood and then 5 vills, but I could be wrong. Okay, he's dropping a military building immediately in base. So this is kind of atypical for Spain for sure. Oh no, that's a church. That's a church. I see. That makes sense.
The
wait,
only,
is he
the
is he
only
on a
military-
church? No, he doesn't have the church card. So unfortunate. What if we saw the Halb Rush? I mean, that would have been maybe a bit too troll for a series this late into the tournament. But we did see it actually earlier on in this series, in this exact same matchup between Kian and Soldier, where Kian was playing as the Spanish and Soldier was playing as the French. And Kian snuck an outpost behind Soldier's TC and suddenly popped out with a ton of Halbs and units and tried to take down his TC. It actually ended up working. He took down the TC, but the French defense from Soldier was kind of too good, and he managed to take that W. But we won't be seeing that here. I think TheOnlyBaus is going to play more disciplined, and it will be pretty exciting to see what's going to happen.
We see 5 Husks coming out, so maybe not the 8 Husk play that I was thinking, but definitely 5 coming out. 700 wood is getting shipped, and the Vil, there's going to be a little bit of idle time for the TC, but nothing too crazy. He's going to get all that wood gathered up. He's going to get that next house down, and those Husks are off to play. We do see Boss click up, so he's going to get that edge off no matter how much idle time Frontline decides to do. Looks like the cavalry waited a little while to maybe get a treasure or something for Frontline. Oh, Boss reached home city level 22. Super important stuff. Just
Yeah,
kidding,
this is why I'm
of
not super sure about this kind of cap semi into Spain. I'm sure Frontline knows better than me, but it seems like these Husks won't be getting a lot of value. I mean, already Spain is aging. He's shipping 5 bills. He's gotten kind of the greedy aspects of his build down, and he'll even be starting a batch of either musks or rods pretty soon, I expect. He's idling his military production building a little bit right now. I'm not sure why, but there we go. He cues that Rodolero in. He's probably going to save some wood to get the veteran of Rodolero upgrade as well, or maybe not. Maybe he'll even ship, yeah, as I mentioned, Spanish gold. And
yeah, one thing to note, he put his flag into the water. He is aging with a caravel. One thing that TheOnlyBaus has done, this is going to be the second time aging up with a caravel and 300 wood. The Rodoleros do get sent in, and that pond, it's going to be pretty well protected with the tower on one side, and then having a caravel or galley, I guess, that can go just about anywhere. Oh no, I guess it's not going to be a galley. I apologize. It will be a caravel. Ooh, okay, 8 Husks. I was right. I'm just kidding. I don't think that he shipped.
imagine he just shipped the
3
shipped the
Husks.
Yeah, that would be crazy at this time of the match. But here, I mean, those 4 rods are not gonna be able to deter 8 Husks significantly. If he wanted to take this fight, I think he could, or I guess 5 rods, but it's probably safer to just keep the Husks
And
alive.
he saves the TP with maybe one more throw, and of all those Husks, and he would have gotten it. Wild. And now Goons are getting shipped immediately from Frontline. Goons are a decent unit, but I'm not sure you need them quite yet against this Rod mass. It's not
think
the
you need
funnest
kind of
micro in the world.
a
Oh,
decent
he is
number of
healing
goons.
it, and he's going to cancel that
Ooh,
healing
that's a
session.
nice
Another
cancel.
Rods come back.
Because early on, Goons can kind of kite rods very, very effectively when the rod mass is quite small. It's really the issue is when you have a lot of rods and you can start splitting them up to kind of take good angles on the Goons and snare them. That's when you know that Spain has the definitive military compositional advantage over Skirm Goon. And at that point, I think the only win condition for France is to kind of go for that Skirm mass, take good Skirm trades, and then go for that Cuirassier switch. But right now, Spain defaulting into their standard Skirm Rod composition. We might see 5 Lancers.
They sent
but I don't
Spanish
think that'll
gold
be good.
first.
Yep, okay.
Ooh,
exactly.
that's a very interesting, maybe slightly substandard these days to send Spanish gold so early. Very greedy, but with that caravel as well, I mean, it is kind of the defensive a
Well, I
play
think
that you can get away with.
Spanish Gold is the only way to really double racks units early on.
Sure.
But yeah, I think this is a good build. Sometimes you can see Spain going for a second TP in transition as well. But here, I think he's playing pretty just disciplined with that one TP, one church, which is a bit safer. That church, you'll never see it getting siege down. But here, the skirms, I mean, 5 skirms for each side. They took one volley at each other and decided, nah, I'm just going to go back, keep my skirms alive. But as we can see, OnlyBaus now double batching skirmishers, so he might take the skirm advantage unless Frontline also has 2 racks. Can we take a look at Frontline?
Only one, but another thing to note,
Yep.
well, not I guess another thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if Frontline sends the
A one
Falconets next.
No, I don't like
Falconets
Falconets this early for France. The issue is that the Raws can kind of just run in, and you don't have anything to body block for the Falconets. What you really want is to only ship Falconets if you see Spain has shipped Falconets, so that you can use them to trade each other off. And trading off Spain's Falconets, I think, is always very, very good, kind of no matter what matchup you're in. But yeah, I personally would not agree with the Falconet shipment right now, but yeah, I don't know. So here, Frontline shipping in 1k coin, that will allow him to start spamming units of his own, because we saw earlier that he did not have the gold income to quite finish his batch of skirms while still training enough goons. So this 1k coin would be very, very good to...
One Huss just kind of going down for no reason. That's okay.
Okay, he's there for scouting purposes. But yeah, I mean, the skirmisher advantage is comfortably in OnlyBaus' lead right now. Although Frontline does still have that one TP that's being sieged down, while OnlyBaus lost his TP a little bit earlier on. The Raws have been vetted now. He has a pretty substantial number. He's training Lancers as well, so he's added a stable. And, I mean, Lancers right now are probably not the best thing. He hasn't really seen it how many goons Frontline has already. So I don't think the Raws...
Oh,
the Raws not getting poached at the front.
in.
That is the
There are so many rods.
Those Husks are gonna be just melted if they commit.
And
so
they can just go back onto the Caravel as well if anything really crazy does end up happening. That is so many Rodoleros. I'm not sure how you deal with this. 34 rods.
Yep, you just need a lot of... You need the skirm advantage here as France. I'm a bit surprised that France wasn't able to get enough skirms. But now, okay, so Baus is deciding to go for this Lancer switch. And, I mean, with enough rods, if he can zone off the Dragoons by just committing his rods, Frontline doesn't have enough skirms to be able to split these rods and kill them fast enough. So I think this might actually be the right decision. You're going to commit your rods to kind of zone off the goons, and then your Lancers just have complete control.
Cove, I think, is...
Blind Culverins. What are these blind Culverins here from Frontline? I mean, there are no Falconets on the field. This is maybe a bit
The only thing
too
it does
much.
is it kills the Caravel, and the Caravel dies.
Yeah, okay, we can one-shot a Caravel, guys. That Caravel has nothing on us. We have 3 Culves.
Yeah, that Caravel is not going to be lasting very much longer, but that might be the extent of what those Culverins end up doing. We're going to see a cheeky raid with goons, but they do such little damage to Vills that didn't do anything.
At some point, if you can one-shot...
Oh, we're going to get a surround, maybe?
Ooh, is this going to be a surround? I don't think he has the angle.
They're going to see it, and they don't have the speed.
Oh,
no!
no!
What are we doing?
Oh, that would have been so bad if he got caught.
Oh, and he is
though.
getting
This
caught.
might be
Oh, the
horrible.
Culverins are
Where
going to
the
do a
Lancers?
whole lot
He
here.
has the Lancers ships, and he has 5 coming in right now. This might... Okay, I mean, he decides to back off there, but that was almost horrible for Frontline. Those Husks almost got melted. The Dragoons almost got snared. But look at him go. That Caravel is just bringing the units right back to the other side of the pond to safety. What would be really, really funny is if somehow Frontline gets that snipe while the Caravel is transporting units and just kills 30 skirm on the spot.
That would be I would probably just unplug my router and say GG and then not play a fourth game if that happened.
Yeah, that would be traumatic for everyone, I think. But yeah, okay, these Colbs actually, somebody pointed out in chat, they do a decent job against Skirm. I think this extra Skirm batch is walking in. Okay, so he brings him back. But he does take, a couple of volleys, losing 3 or 4 Skirm for nothing there. I think that batch just came out and the military waypoint was set on the right side of the map. So they were just walking it into Frontline's army. But here,
Frontline's TP is going down.
Scary. This is... Okay, so both armies are kind of posturing here. OnlyBaus wants a sandwich between the army and between the base. While Frontline, let's look at his perspective quickly. Okay, he doesn't see it yet, but he must see it now. And this might be a little bit of trouble for Frontline. The Raws here, though, a little bit out of position. They want to be kind of in front, zoning off the goons. But these cannons are now getting crazy value on the infantry. There's a great choke point in the middle of these trees. And all the melee units for OnlyBaus can't really connect. They have to run through all these trees. Having gets weird, but he does decide to connect, or to commit. And the Skirms are just walking in order to focus the goons. They're taking crazy shots right now from the Falcon.
Oh my goodness, so many blue bubbles, but the rods are now connecting. This is the game right here. All the melee units just getting stuck in on the French infantry, on the French cavalry, and I think this is a cleanup, but somehow... Oh, my goodness! The frigate! But I guess it's a bit late, though. I mean, he's lost so much artillery. His skirm mass is relatively unhurt right now, but I'm not sure how many vills there's OnlyBaus on, because I think he lost a couple there, but not enough to make a difference. Could you imagine if that frigate would have been there just 20 seconds earlier? That would have been huge. That would have been game-changing. A frigate of his own is coming out from OnlyBaus. Where is that gonna go? Let's see. It's gonna go in the pond. Yep. And, the flag is there. Yeah, this might be a huge water fight and land fight around the pond that'll happen in the next couple seconds. Falconet coming out from Frontline. The score is also slightly ahead for Frontline. Yeah, I mean, Frontline is far ahead on Eco right now. Yeah. Well, I mean, with the Spanish gold, it's going to be pretty close. I guess. Oh, okay. Now the frigate's in. They're going to be fighting each other. Those skirms are going to want to do anything they can to help that fight. You don't want to... The goons now see the Raws kind of committing on one side of the pond, which is not great. I mean, it's only skirms there right now. Another batch of Raws coming in from the right side. Are they gonna get on those goons? Oh, they're not even just gonna die. That was a bit of a missed micro. All of those rods going down for nothing. Probably 7 or 8 rods there. That's like a full H3 shipment. And it looks like the frigate for France has a slight advantage here. So he might take the fight, but it'll be on kind of very low health, and it might not really make a difference at the end of the day. But here, a skirmisher trade going on the top side of the pond. No raiding really happening, but ooh, some rods I think breaking off from the fight to the north. Maybe looking for 60 HP.
Looking for
Will
that.
We see a cheeky dock.
Oh, another raid on the left side of the map. Let's quickly see. Is he gonna connect on those vills? He definitely finds those vills. And wow, these vills are really far away. The Raws and skirms all coming back to chase these 3 hussars. I mean, this is a huge opening for Frontline on the other side of the map here. This is like a very big response that he's forced from OnlyBaus to commit 20-30 rods, 2 lancers, and his entire skirm mass to chase the rods. Okay, let's look at the right side of the map. Frontline is taking this opportunity to push into the base and do some significant infrastructure damage in that time when the army is out of position chasing those hussars.
And I could have sworn that barracks has already gone down once before, but it's going to go down again, and there's going to be a decent amount of infrastructure that OnlyBaus sacrificed for trying to catch 3 hussar.
Look at how much idle time there is as well right now for Spain. 11 idle vills that walked away from that hunt just now and is on their way back. Ooh, the hussar is still alive somehow, lurking, looking for vills. The lancers go back to catch them, but another maybe engagement on the right. No, not quite. The skirms go back again to chase these rods. This is, I mean, to chase those 2 hussars.
If you look up right where the explorer is, I think he's building a dock on the water. He is. That frigate is going to be full HP in no time, and he's going to catch that the rods are trying to go somewhere else.
Yeah, that line of sight from that frigate, like just their 30 range on its own, makes them outrange most most units. I mean, except culverins and mortars, they pretty much outrange anything in H3. So look at this rod mass going to the top. I kind of want to see the Frontline's perspective here. How is his economy looking? If he has enough, okay, so he's adding boats now as well on the right side of the map, and he's adding a caravel. Is that on the big pond or is that on the ocean?
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, so he's
it's on
adding it
pond.
in the pond. So he really wants the control of the pond. He wants
And-
these boats to support his military. And a
Oh,
fight
a
happening
big
on the
connect.
top.
Look
Let's
at the
the
top. Okay, that's
Okay,
just
a lot of
wall.
CDBs trying to wall, but now being forced off of the res. A mine running out at a pretty inopportune time. And are we going to see a big fight here? I don't think France really wants to commit to anything right now. They know they're in the economic lead. Frontline knows he's ahead. I think he needs just a couple more minutes to get everything in order, get maybe counter infantry rifling on his skirmishers to deal with this massive rod mass. He has enough wood now to either add more fishing boats or get that arsenal, those arsenal techs, and eventually I think it's maybe a bit too late for a curse switch. He doesn't have the gold anymore. The mines are kind of depleted on his side of the map. So he might have to work with the mass he has now instead of adding 10, 15 curse, which will be extremely expensive. But Spain, he knows his timing is quickly closing. His window of opportunity is closing. So he is going to try to push in now. He knows he's getting outscored and outscaled. He needs to take some fight and take some good trades. But these CDB are in the middle of the fight. They can tank a crazy amount of damage. The Lancers going in and getting decimated by the goons. 2 Falconets in the back. Skirms right now just not firing, I think, on the right targets. The goons trying to get back away from the Skirms and onto the Lancers. The CDB taking a crazy amount of damage on the front line. But the Rods, I think, are getting annihilated by the Falcons and the Skirms. I don't think this Spain is going to come out of this alive. Enough Skirm are alive. Enough Dragoons are alive as well, and these Dragoons were just microed incredibly well. I think the skirm splitting might have, he shot the Lancers a couple of times with the skirms, but those Dragoons were splitting amazingly on the Lancers, taking all of them down, taking down the Spanish mass, and I think this is time for OnlyBaus to call it here. He wasn't able to break in, and there we go. That is the game. GG to Frontline once again. CDB's OP for soaking damage.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff from Frontline. It definitely was probably the closest game we've seen so far. Both had really good build orders, and it just came down to possibly maybe a slight bit of micro when it came down to the last fight, with the Rods maybe going for the wrong target, or just all of them going the same time for those Falconets, and they didn't even go down all that quickly. I think that the Rods needed to be a little bit more on the Dragoons than they were, and those CDBs, like you said, they soaked as much damage as they needed to, and that was the game.
Yeah, what a great game, honestly. Kind of like a vanilla matchup, played out very standard. I think Spain just maybe waited a little bit too long for their big timings. France took some good early trades, kind of punished OnlyBaus' economy, took the economic lead eventually. Let's take a quick look at the all res gathered. They should be far ahead. Or maybe not far. Okay, I guess Spanish gold is pretty OP. So not quite far ahead, but I think he was kind of starting to pull up towards the end there with the superior economy. So OnlyBaus kind of had to commit by that point. But wow, a very great game. I think some good micro from Frontline. Very nice to see build from OnlyBaus as well. Getting that Spanish gold, getting that 1k wood. We got the land battles, we got the water battles, and we got a ton of great fights and great raiding even. So GG's. Good effort from both sides.
Very impressive stuff, and it goes up 3-1 for Frontline. This could be the final game, folks.
Yep, and what is the matchup? Let's head back to the home screen and take a look at the next matchup for Game 5. So Frontline choosing Lakota versus OnlyBaus' Brit. I believe this is Frontline's counter pick, so let's take a quick look. So Game 1 was blind. So who won Game 1? Frontline won Game 1, so Game 2, Frontline picks first. Game 3, OnlyBaus picks first. Game 4, Frontline picks first. And now OnlyBaus picks first. So OnlyBaus picked Brit, and I think Frontline counterpicked with Lakota. Historically, this has been a really great matchup for Lakota. They have those, Brits obviously have more builds than anybody else by that kind of 10 to 15 minute mark. And with all those villas, they require a lot of food. They kind of spread out, and Lakota kind of just take advantage of that in the past, and is able to kind of raid very, very effectively. However, I think with the recent nerfs to Lakota and making it more of an infantry civ, Lakota is not quite as favored as they were in the past in this matchup. But nevertheless, I think it's still very close. Brit, obviously a very, very strong civilization in the current meta. Lakota also up there, I think, far above average in terms of the civilizations in the meta. So I'm very excited to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, Lakota's very strong. If Frontline gets up to age 3, gets those rifle riders or whatnot, I think it's relatively difficult for Brit to deal with unless he gets a pretty critical longbow mass, which can also pretty easily be countered by Frontline with having some of the strongest cav in the game that you can get with the dog soldiers or whatnot. So very, very interested to see what style of play, if Frontline decides he wants to stay age 2, go maybe a little bit more infantry heavy. I'm not sure. Very. What map are we going to be on?
Arctic territories.
Arctic territories. Very interesting. There's going to be a lot of resources on the side of the map that you really can't defend. Other than that, it's a little bit more desolate. Really interested to see. I think OnlyBaus is going to be aggressive in this matchup. I think we're going to see OnlyBaus rush, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Can we get a prediction started?
Yes, let me fix that. So last game, Frontline took the lead, so you guys get your points. And now we'll start the prediction for game 5.
One other thing to note, OnlyBaus, he's starting to run out of the civs that he knows well. I think maybe Iro, maybe Germany, but that'll be enough, I guess. It's a round of best of 7. So if we see Iro in Germany next for OnlyBaus, I think that'll be okay. But I think Frontline, he's kind of saving some of his favorite civs for last. So we'll have to see what comes up next.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's head into the game now. This is game 5 of the. Okay, so I think it might have cut me off there, but this is game 5 of the ESOC Spring Championships, and we have in the south side of the map Frontline playing as the Lakota in the color blue, and on the north side of the Arctic territories we have OnlyBaus playing as the Brits in the color red. Red for the redcoats, so hopefully we'll see a big Musk spam later on in the game. But anyways, let's see. So early on, Brit is already starting with a market. So we expect a market plus a manor house opening here from the British. He's already getting hunting dogs in very early. So it's just a couple, 40 seconds into the game, and he's already getting hunting dogs. So he must have gotten a decent either coin treasure or something, I think.
I think he got a 40 coin treasure, and then he chopped 10 coin.
Yep, makes sense. Very, very good. And he's now already herding in that kind of second hunt, which Brits can often do because you only have to send one vill out there to build that manor for that line of sight on your second hunts, and you can start herding it in immediately. Already we have a bit of a treasure contention in the middle of the map. We have, I think, some snaring or some fighting between the explorers happening briefly. But now let's take a quick look at the Lakota base. So what are they doing?
Can you switch it off of Mother Nature, because we get an attack notification every time a herd dies?
Yeah, I think the funniest thing is once I was casting on Mother Nature and Vil chopped the tree somewhere, and I thought there was a massive raid because even trees getting attacked give you the notification, so it's quite funny.
That's wild.
But for sure. So Lakota, I will be honest, I don't know anything about Lakota builds, so I might need a little bit of help from you, Chosen, here.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard deck. He has the 3 mortars, which are really strong in age 4 if it ever needs to get there. Other than that, I don't see anything too crazy. It seems like you're blocking half of the. Okay. Okay, I don't get to see that. Okay. Yeah, but besides that, the deck is pretty normal. It seems like he'll probably be slightly aggressive in age 2, and then use that 600 coin to get up to age 3 later. What do we see from OnlyBaus? What's his? All right, is
The most
600
standard
coin
Brit
as
deck in
well.
Brit decks,
That's
except Town Militia, I guess.
Yeah, Town Militia is a little bit substandard. He doesn't have the Pike shipment, which isn't too crazy either in age 4. Yeah,
No,
I mean it's a
Team Grenadier
pretty-
Guards, the Team Musk HP card, but maybe he does. Sorry, he does have that.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought that was the cap card for a second. Yep. So very
Yep.
standard stuff.
nothing too crazy whatsoever. All the villagers going on to wood for both sides. He's going to get that TP up, maybe even a second one, depending on how greedy Frontline is planning on being. Do we see a villager going forward for OnlyBaus? It does appear to be the case, although maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's just to put a house down to put a house down. He's going to
I
put...
think he just wants the line of sight, as
Yep.
you mentioned. Yeah.
Really interested to see if he does decide to go a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, I don't know. He's macroing like he's not going to be very aggressive at all, and you see Frontline actually sending a forward villager. He'll probably, I guess, he'll be training, not training, but he'll be ready to put down. Let me see what his macro is. Yep, okay. Yep, he's going to be putting down a war hut. It's going to be in line of sight for that manor house. I'm almost certain. Does OnlyBaus see it? He does end up seeing it. So that is going to be helpful for OnlyBaus to know like exactly what he's dealing with. But OnlyBaus has been greedy. He's made quite a few manor houses already. Maybe a little bit substandard. He probably only wanted to make maybe 2 more houses in transition if I know anything, but maybe I don't. We're going to probably see, judging by macro, are we gonna see what? Oh, I guess he's gonna go Musk. Yeah, which is what you want, but he doesn't have any villagers chopping coin just yet. What unit? Okay, Musketeer. The Musketeer are going to do well. I think Clubmen are probably going to be the first units coming out from Frontline. Do we see... Oh, he's going Stagecoach. Okay, Frontline is going to be very aggressive. He put those... and he's going Seton Bows. Okay, yeah. Frontline, maybe more of a fake out type of a thing. Like, he's not going to be super aggressive, making Seton Bows. Just going to make sure that he doesn't get that war hut taken down. But all 3 TPs are going to be up very quickly. That Stagecoach is almost in. It's such a long technology as well. And then he'll have another shipment. What is he sending? Okay, he's sending the 4 Axe Riders. Such a strong shipment. What do you think, Baron?
I think this is kind of standard play from Lakota in the sense that you want to kind of base mid-map. You want to take control of the TPs and have enough mass to kind of defend that. Because the 3 TP Stagecoach will buy you some time and prevent you from getting outscaled by Brits super early. And this map, I think, is not the greatest map in terms of hunts. I mean, OnlyBaus has done a really great job of bringing in the hunts. Let's look at his base. I think he has kind of 2 pretty full, healthy hunts in his base right now. That those elk or whatever, or moose on the top, and then those deer or caribou or whatever they're called on the bottom. And the first batch of Musk now making their way out of the base, but I don't think they're going to commit to anything yet. And he also has dropped a stable as a second military builder, so he kind of wants to go for that Musk Hussar composition, I believe. So a little bit of a commit from Frontline here, poking in a little bit with the Setons.
He does already get a
little bit of
villager.
damage. Already has Great Hunter.
No, he already killed a villager.
Oh, he did? I missed that completely. Okay. Well, that's nice. Wow, okay. I guess 1 vill is not the worst for Brits, but I mean, any bit of advantage is definitely good in these high-level games. The Seton being pretty oppressive with how fast they are. Look at them go, just running back and forth, poking. They don't want to take too much TC or outpost fire here, and Frontline doesn't really have to commit super early into the base. He kind of wants to wait keep these hunts out of reach for Brit and wait for them to push out and challenge his TP line.
Are we gonna see some manor houses being taken down? I personally, I'm a bit of a purist. I'm not a big fan of taking down British houses. I don't like it, although the XP that you get from taking them down has been buffed over the years. Whatnot. I mean, 84 XP. I don't know. Maybe I could have my mind changed as to being good, but I'm not a big fan of the decision to take these manor houses down. The one big thing, though, that is going to give for him is because that manor house was right on top of his war hut, he is now not going to have the benefit of being able to see if Frontline decides to push up on that one side. So that is definitely a benefit.
Yeah, I think these two manors gotta go, especially that first one he sieged, just because that gave so much line of sight. He could tell exactly what units OnlyBaus
Another
was
villager
making. Oh,
goes
that was a
down.
nice poe trick, but still
then
the
another
village goes
villager.
down. This village's not, it's just still
why
walking
is
out,
it-
but I don't think either of them noticed that villager there. Yeah, okay. That Vill is really dodged
Immortal.
a bullet, or should I say like a flock of arrows from these Seaton bowmen. He's still
A
gathering.
flock?
Not a care. What did I say?
A flock of arrows.
What do you call it? A volley of arrows. wasn't thinking carefully, but anyways.
They have chickens strapped to the ends of the
Yeah, I mean,
arrows.
chicken
and,
feathers. It took
yeah.
a flock of chickens to make these arrows. But anyways, yeah, that Vill really dodged a bullet there. Was out there gathering, not a care in the world. Zero fear. But Frontline, I mean, can't commit here under the TC. We have a pretty solid Musk-Husk mass, along with 3 or 4, maybe a batch of longbowmen out as well. And I think longbows are probably the win condition for Brits. As long as they have enough mass in their fronts to body block, these longbows will do very, very well against the Lakota units here. Lakota kind of mixing in some bow riders. Maybe he scouted these the stable, and I mean, these bow riders just do very well against musketeers. They do very well against hussars, especially with that quick rate of fire and high DPS. A little bit of a commit now going in. Oh, that's a lot of hussars. Longbow shipment coming in. I think this is a timing that OnlyBaus wanted to hit. Hussars going back to avoid the bow riders, but the bow riders and the fast Seaton bows, they just kind of leave when they want to and engage when they want to. But I mean, Brits now on 100 manor pop. They're actually getting a little bit popped because Baus hasn't put 5 to 7 bills on wood to continue making more manors. So he's kind of going pretty aggressive. I mean, he's going for an earlier timing. He needs to, maybe Baus feels like he needs to take down these TPs with an earlier timing, so he hasn't gone super greedy with the manor.
Yeah, I guess that is one of the benefits of taking down those houses, is if your opponent decides they want to just go full into longbows, they're not going to really have enough wood to make houses on top of that. Looks like he's going to get one house down, so that's good. There's going to be a commit right here. You see lots of blue bubbles going down. Maybe this is not the engagement you want for
That's a lot of bow riders though, and these bow riders, another reinforcing batch coming in, and the Huss are just completely melting. The musketeers just walk forward. They want to get in range of the bow riders, in range of the Seaton bows, but this is some decent micro from both sides. The hussars have connected onto the Seatons. What a great spread from Frontline, making sure all his bow riders are in the back line doing DPS. The longbows in the back also doing decent DPS on the Seatons. But overall, I think that was a pretty even trade, and I'm not sure who's having the advantage now. Let's take a quick look into the Brit base. Okay, so 2 Takala soldiers coming in, pointed out by our producer Craft here. But in the Brit space, I think the hunts are starting to dry up a little bit. He has, yep, definitely starting to dry up here. Not a lot of hunt left. So he needs a timing to push out onto the map and secure these hunts in the middle of the map, especially that one towards the right of Lakota's forward base. And that is very, very hard to do right now because he didn't take a great trade. It didn't crush the Lakota army, and he needs to make something happen quickly, otherwise he won't be able to keep up military production, and Lakota will actually start scaling better with greater map control, greater access to these natural resources.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? If you you have the eco lead as OnlyBaus, but you don't have the hunts or whatnot, then what use is that eco lead? And so if you're trading relatively effectively as Frontline, you have to be happy, because that remass is just going to become more and more difficult as the days go on for OnlyBaus. He's gonna have to push a lot of villagers out to get those resources that he needs. There aren't any other hunts in close vicinity, and you do see Boss. He's making a TP. You might as well with the extra wood, because you don't really have anything else to spend it on. But he's going to be housed again. So
Yep,
maybe he does have
commit
something
again.
to put on.
So Baus desperately trying to break out of the Lakota containment. Again with another batch of Huss coming in. The Bow Riders are in a decent position here, taking good trades against the Hussars. But on the other hand, there's a decent amount of longbows in the backline here, DPSing the Bow Riders down. But I think it's just going to be enough to deal with the Hussars. The villagers actually coming in, and it might be looking kind of good for OnlyBaus now. He seems to have broken the Lakota containment a little bit, thinned out the mass. If he takes down this forward base, these vills, look at these vills, they are on the right, preparing to eat up these tasty hunts and continue, and allow Baus to continue pumping units out.
Those
This is looking good for Brits all of a sudden. These the Lakota forward base is going down. Map control, like their kind of tight grip on the map, is kind of breaking to Brits' pressure with musketeers, hussars, and longbows. And if Brits, I think, is able to get access to all these hunts, they will be in a commanding position here with better economy, maybe even better units, dare I say, with longbowmen in H2 and pretty strong carded musketeers that can come in pretty soon as well.
Yeah, with hindsight being 2020, I wonder if Frontline should have maybe made 10 Bow Rider less and just backed up a little bit. Maybe forgone been okay losing his War Hut there and just gone up to age 3. That's what he's doing now, but it may just be too late.
Yeah, Brit is completely taking the map back. They've gotten a forward racks now in the middle of the map where that Lakota forward base used to be. And with these 2 racks and a stable, they will be pumping out an absurd amount of units. So let's take a look at Lakota. What decks has Lakota? I'm sorry, what cards has Lakota sent so far? He sends Great Hunter. That probably allowed him to get into H3 here. And in H3, what kind of cards does he have? Maybe we'll see some Wakina. Maybe we'll see some Axe Riders. But I don't know. So okay, so he's shipping Rifle Riders first.
I don't know about Rifle Riders against so many longbows.
That's a lot of
right
longbow.
now.
Yeah. They will do well against the Musketeers. Maybe he wants a Rifle Rider, Axe Rider switch and kind of go for that Lakota H3 composition, which I think will do well against what Frontline has right now.
But this is a mistake from Boss. He is going to be taking down that TP. It's going to buy so much time for Frontline. He's going to be able to get those H3 units out that he wants. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say if it's worthwhile. I think you really kind of want to get underneath the TC before any substantial unit shipments are able to come out, just so that you can deny the usefulness. But now those, I mean, he's got a healthy number of Rifle Riders, not too many Seton Bows. I think he is he? I don't know. Those units.
Baus is actually pulling back.
Actually, going back.
I thought we were gonna be positioning for a base trade. Okay, let's look at the top left side. What's going on there? I see a lot of blue dots moving around. Okay, so Frontline just taking a couple units, going up there to scout the hunts. He's taking his own hunt, or claiming his own hunt in the top of the map there as well. But let's look at the base now. Ooh, a couple of villagers pretty exposed on that mine over there. They might get taken down. Okay, but these Rifle Riders just have no bonus against villagers, or no damage against villagers, and Frontline doesn't even bother with them at this point. What is the win condition for Frontline here? I feel like Baus is in a commanding position to win this game. Maybe a big Axe Rider mass somehow, and he crushes a fight. But no, I don't see how he has the eco for that kind of switch right now. He's making Wakina. He's making more Rifle Riders, actually. At least that's what it looks like.
Would be possibly to get enough coin and to get enough food at the same time in order to be able to get Get the dog soldier.
Big raid, but spotted early by Frontline. But nevertheless, I mean, these Hussars are going to connect. But, oh, a lot of Rifle Riders coming in to save those exposed villagers. And, yeah, these Hussars are probably not going to make it out. Or they have to back out immediately without taking any of those. Frontline now moving his army back into his base. Going for the runaround to buy himself some time. But I think if Brit pushes here, they are just in a commanding position to win a fight.
Look at all the food that OnlyBaus has stacked. Oh my goodness, disgusting. Okay. You don't really want to be losing those for free. The Queen low in number. All of those villagers going to dance?
Attack dance maybe? And he takes a big fight here. There's a chance those villagers are actually just tanking there. So let's look at Frontline's perspective. How much damage is he getting right now? 23% additional damage. He is going to try to take a big fight here and crush, but there's no Frontline with the Axe Riders. That's what you need, I think, against these longbows, because these expensive Rifle Riders are just getting melted under the longbow fire, and there's just no way back, I think, for Frontline here. This Brit mass is just too oppressive. He's down 6-7k score, and I don't know what he can do here. I mean, all of these Lakota units just get melted by
Getting his Explorer back, though, it's gonna be a lot of HP that he gets.
I can't see this going well. He just needs to stand and fire. Brit just need to, like, not touch their units and they can crush this fight. Yeah, now the villagers getting... When the army gets pushed back, all of these villagers are going to be exposed, and I think Frontline will call it here.
Yep. GG.
GG's.
It's a good game.
Yeah, it all came down to that pretty precise timing, right? Like, OnlyBaus was just about to run out of food, but he had enough of a mass to break that containment. We actually saw OnlyBaus having a little bit of trouble keeping up his military population because he had a couple manor houses sieged down early, which meant that he couldn't... or that he was actually housed as Brits, which is something that you very rarely see. However, he managed to, again, like, hit this precise timing and end up taking this game. So now we're up to 3-2 for Frontline. It's still match points, but will we see OnlyBaus making a comeback here? That would be very exciting.
I'll be taking a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh, look at the prediction here. 51k to 1.2k. Whoever bet on Baus, let's see who that guy is. Rediug? He just won big betting on Baus there. Congratulations. Here's your 50,000 points. Good job. And we're gonna run a quick ad break now. Let's see if it or I guess the ad break is in progress actually. So I guess I'm only talking to those of you who are subscribed. Game rigged? Yeah, you know, all of this has actually been scripted for the past year. We've been very kind of secretive deliberations about which player will win, what the scoreline should be, even how the fights should go. Actually, everything here is being macroed by our producer Kraft in the background, who's playing for both players. He's microing each unit one by one, and that's really how the game is being run here in ScamSoc. Yeah, let's just head back into the home screen now and wait for the ad break to finish. Kaleli in the chat saying the Satan nerf made Lakota a B tier suddenly from S+++. As a Lakota main, this is some propaganda, I think, from Kaleli. Scam. Why is the baguette 20,000? Looks like you guys need a bit more points then. Start investing. Start predicting, start gambling and get those points. We need more baguettes. Is 20,000. How many points do you guys have nowadays? I'm kind of curious what my bank is looking like compared to you guys in terms of the channel points. Ho ho! We have a Civ picks now for game number 6, and boy do we have a treat for you guys here. We have a Germany mirror. Germany mirror. This is one of my favorite matchups in the entire game. It's just so dynamic. You can have such big powers, like I guess big tempo swings between each side. And actually Germany plays this completely differently from how they would normally play, often starting doppelsolners in H2, which are not generally seen in any other matchup in H2. At least not monocomping doppelsolners and just stripping bows. But yeah, I am super excited to see how this goes. As a Germany main, I play a lot of Germany mirrors in lobbies and even on the rank ladder. So I'm very interested in this one personally.
And I am back. Sorry that I took so long on that bathroom break. Oh, it's a German mirror? Dude.
Yeah, another way that this can get played is maybe one side even makes mercs. I don't know if either of these players are big merc players, but I mean, merc Germany, very strong. Some people might argue they're even a little bit lame. I mean, our producer here, Kraft, is a big lamer of Germany mercs. I think he managed to climb 300 elo from just normal Germany and then started playing Germany mercs. So anyways, yeah, I wonder if you'll see any merc play this game. I kind of doubt it. I think both players will really want to show their kind of mechanical skill in standard Germany, but there's always the option of going mercs. Even if you're not fully committing, you can kind of get those Jaeger or Black Rider shipments, which are potentially game-winning tempo shipments here.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be. We've got the German master in the stream, so gonna definitely be wanting to hear what you think is going on throughout the rest of this. Can we get a prediction in the chat of
who's the German master? I don't see a German master here.
I mean, I just saw you beat Soldier yesterday as Germany, so I think that makes you the German master at this point.
Yeah, you know, that is a flex. Hopefully Soldier's not in the chat here. We're selling him out. We're getting those. We're leaking the secret lobbies, the practice lobbies.
Do we have a prediction of if we think Germany's gonna win or not?
I mean, just like that auto game. I mean, I'm sure Germany will win. Oh, Permany.
We do have Kaiserklein in the chat.
Yeah, that's one of the real Germany masters for sure. Yeah, I wonder what Kaiserklein will say here. I think in the past, Kaiserklein has liked to go a bit greedier in this matchup, even sending Silversmith in some situations. I think a while back I saw a Germany mirror between Soldier and Kaiserklein managed to win by getting the economy lead by shipping Silversmith while taking some decent trades throughout. But I think after Silversmith has gotten nerfed, I don't see that strategy quite as much. But anyways, okay, we are in the game. Let's head over and get ready for this very dynamic, very exciting game here with this Germany mirror. All right, we are on Florida. Is that right?
It is Florida, I think.
All right, in the north side. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's close enough, whatever it is.
Yeah, it looks like Florida for sure. But on the north side of the map, we have Frontline in the color blue. And in the south side of the map, we have TheOnlyBaus in the color red. And these two players playing a classic vanilla matchup, the Germany mirror, on what I think is one of the best maps on the ladder for Germany, because we have that market start. And oftentimes you actually see a wood treasure around the
both of them going TP early. Do you see that?
Yeah, because you have that starting market for free. Germany tends to go TP early in this matchup, and going early TP for Germany is just so strong if you have that option. Maybe sometimes if you don't get the right treasures, you can even skip hunting dogs to still get that good age up time. But having that TP and that extra XP income means you get way better H2 and H3 tempo compared to what Germany even normally gets. And we all know, I mean, Germany is the king, I think, of H3 tempo civs. So this is very exciting.
Both of them effectively get the first pass, so that's also very impressive.
Yep, very good macro. So let's take a look at their decks. I mean, obviously 2 settler wagons will be coming in for both sides, but what do their decks look like? Oh, we have spies in H2 for Frontline, because maybe he's predicting a little bit of a Merc play. He also has Palatine houses. This is very interesting from Frontline. Will we see some H2 outlaw play? That is a potential here. He even has rendering plants as well, so maybe he even considers going water a little bit. So this is a very dynamic deck for Frontline.
And a bit of a misplay, I think. He delayed his house. He's going to have those 2 settler wagons way slower than the TheOnlyBaus.
Interesting.
About
it's
20
a bit
seconds
tough.
slower.
I think maybe Baus had a wood treasure and Frontline didn't. We might have missed that, but yeah, it's pretty tough to macro on this map because it's very different from Germany's normal macro, which is already pretty like high APM in the early age 1. But yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, delaying that settler wagon shipment is definitely not ideal. Let's take a quick look at TheOnlyBaus' deck. Okay, so this is very standard Germany. I mean, this is just a Germany water deck where you have all the necessary shipments for some H2 play with 600, 700 wood and 600, 700 coin. But also with that anti-water, 2 caravels, 1 frigate, and the standard H3 shipments, mercenary shipments with 9 Black Riders and 12 Jaegers. And generally on water maps, oftentimes you sacrifice 8 Ulans in exchange for the caravel shipment, because 8 Ulans for Germany, you can kind of consider as a 5 Ulan shipment plus the 3 free Ulans. It's still a good shipment and sometimes really turns the tempo of the game, but overall, in terms of resource value, it is much weaker than the rest of Germany's H3 shipments. So both players kind of aging at a very good time. TheOnlyBaus clicking up around 3 minutes, it seems. And let's look at Frontline. He should be up around the same time. He actually ate his sheep as well, but is still aging a little bit slower, potentially because of that idle time you mentioned with that house and shipping the 2 settler wagons a little bit later.
Indeed, I'm interested to see. What do you think about adding a second TP in transition?
It's an option. It's pretty greedy. I think generally you kind of want to just maybe add a church because it really depends on your game plan here. I don't see any forward builds. TheOnlyBaus Frontline is adding a second TP though, so he might need to commit to a little bit of H2 play if he wants to do that. Will we see a forward settler wagon to build a kind of mid-map Rax, which would indicate Doppelstoner play? Or because I think his deck indicated that he might even go a little bit of Outlaws. Do we see any good Outlaws in the tavern? I missed it earlier. We have Pirates and that's it. So yeah, I mean, this is not a map that you really want to go Outlaws on, or exclusively Outlaws, because Pirates are kind of like a outlaw Rodolero with a pretty much a little bit higher siege. On the other hand, I mean, these are some very good mercs. We have Pandors, which are probably the best merc skirm, kind of tied with the Jaeger, and we have Zenata Riders, which I think are by far the best Cav Archer type unit in the game, because they are basically Manchu in terms of DPS, but they have range resist and a pretty decent fire animation, so they are very strong goons. And finally, we have Dahomey Amazons, which were extremely strong in the past. They did crazy damage against all infantry, but I think they've been a bit nerfed now, so they're not quite as good. So the way that this matchup usually plays out in H3, I think I see the people talking about it in the chat, is that yes, you really want to go Ulan heavy, because whoever has the cav advantage tends to win the game. So you want some war wagons to give you that cav advantage, but the most important thing is to have the massive Ulans, because Ulans tend to kind of beat anything if they can connect onto them, even war wagons, because war wagons have to split fire their Ulans, and that's very difficult to do. But an early batch of Pike now coming out for Frontline to deter these 2 Ulans. He might actually catch them successfully. He's taking a great angle with these 2 Ulans on the side, getting the snare, And then, oh, that was some amazing micro. Look at this. Getting no damage off, basically. Splitting the second Ulan instantly. Now pulling that one back. I mean, this is what Germany mirrors are like. It's all about the small micro decisions, the slightly better macro, and just getting these early advantages. That was just 2 Ulans for 0. And Frontline has 2 TPs as well, so he seems like he's in a decent position. A 4 Ulan batch coming out from OnlyBaus as well, and another batch of Ulans in the front here getting caught. And he can't take an engagement because these pikes are just too strong in these kind of cav-on-cav fights, because these pikes connecting will just demolish these Ulans if there's any Ulans from Frontline surviving.
We do see a barracks go up for OnlyBaus now. Maybe a little bit late though. I mean, you don't really want to go Ulan versus Pike. And, not the really what you don't want. The Ulans are kind of dying now, and then you do see the Minutemen being called, and it's time for Frontline to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yep, 3 pikes chasing 2 Ulans in the front. Ooh, these pikes getting a nice swing off on those husks. Splitting 1 pike back to deter the Ulan and break out of the snare. And now what's going on? I mean, these 2 Ulan are on the top right of the map. They've kind of made a full circle around Frontline's base, getting chased by those couple pikemen. I don't think they've gotten much value. Look at this amazing kind of positioning. Frontline just putting a couple pikes everywhere to deter. And here, so Frontline is actually going for bow pike. And generally, this is not the standard way to play, because bow pike Ulan loses to Dop Ulan. So, however, here I think he's noticed that Frontline, that OnlyBaus is not really adding Dops of his own. So bow pike in that case I think works pretty well. So here a big Ulan mass that's gonna clean up these 2 pikes and maybe even catch those Ulans. But no, he's gonna back out, play it safe. He doesn't want to get caught by the massive pikes that he knows is roaming somewhere. Now Frontline shipping the 8 bow shipment, so he's gonna go with the timing on that shipment. I think he shipped 700 wood in between, so he shipped 3 settler wagons.
And he's gonna get caught out. 8 pikes coming in. This is a
capture.
Great trade. But actually a pretty average amount, like both evening pretty close.
But these 3 pikes from the bottom, if they get a good angle, they might be able to clean up these Ulans. I mean, regardless, this has already been a good trade. Oh, that pike is gonna get a snare again. Taking 1 Ulan down. Soldier in the chat, one of the classic, I guess, legacy Germany mains, is saying that this is some weird play by Frontline. And yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, going bow pike in this matchup is not standard. However,
and look at all the Ulan now.
Ooh, 1 Veil going down for sure. These pikes connecting. Okay, so what is... Oh, so Baus is already up, actually. We didn't even notice that. So this is definitely Frontline's time to do some damage, take down the stable, which he surely will be able to do. OnlyBaus not shipping anything because he's... Okay, he's now shipping war wagons, which I'd like to see. War wagons will do well against everything here. Frontline just needs to do some infrastructure damage.
For Frontline, for OnlyBaus. I mean, if those skirms get caught, that's
well, he's stripping war wagons, right? So
yeah, but they might get caught out. I mean,
yep, he can't vet his Ulans, which is the key here. He can't get vet Ulans because his stable went down, so he's quickly trying to rebuild his stable on the top right side. Can we see Frontline's perspective? I don't think he sees any of that stuff. Ooh, but now we're gonna get a quick pop of war wagons out, and this is gonna be a cleanup, surely. A lot of new Ulans, the 3 war wagons, 3 Ulans. The war wagons just destroying everything. A build pool even coming in. The war wagons now focusing down the Ulans. The skirms, yes, a couple of them went down. I think 2 or 3 of them went down here. But I mean, this is a good cleanup for OnlyBaus. Frontline did do some infrastructure damage, took down 1 house and took down a stable.
Frontline on the other hand, at a casual 200 pop as well.
oh, because he sent the what is that shipment? Palatine houses. Palatine houses, yeah. So I mean, that A bow shipment was the most useless thing for Frontline here. And is he even about to age? Let's look at Frontline. He better be aging right now, otherwise this game is over. Okay, so he's halfway through with the exiled prince. He's making a batch of pike just for safety here. But I mean, these pike are gonna get kited by the war wagons like nothing. Boom, 1 goes down. He does still have Minutemen here, so it might not be that bad. But these crossbows, I mean, what is he doing with these crossbows with no anti-cap? Okay, he just wants to bait the Minutemen pop. He's coming in now. No shipment on age up, which is not ideal, but I mean, these Ulans are going to get cleaned up, I believe. So veteran still hasn't come in, right? Let's take a quick look at these Ulans. Okay, no, they have come in now. Let's go. I think this is over for Frontline, though. He's down 3k score. He's behind in age. He has no shipment ready because he wasn't able to get enough XP in that push.
Or wagons.
He's lost his ship. Oh, okay. He's lost his shipment of 8 bows for basically nothing. And he's not even shipping a... Oh my gosh. He's waiting for the Black Rider shipment. No, surely Black Riders.
Yeah, Black Riders.
Yeah, the Jaegers would get cleaned up here by anything. But, I mean... This is so painful. So painful. He's idling forever, and all these girls are gonna get caught out on the mine. Surely, is he gonna escape? No, he's not. I mean, a quick wall here. Will that save him? No, there's no way. I mean, all these vills are gonna go down, and that is GG.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. This was a very, very weird build by Frontline. I've never seen Germany kind of played like this. Kind of with bow pike, and that kind of. I guess this is the reason why, right? With bow pike, you're not exerting enough pressure early on, while with doppel sonars, you're very, very quickly sieging down a TP, very, very quickly kind of in their base, forcing a response, because you can't just sit back against 15 or 10 to 15 doppel sonars, right? You have to make something happen, either with those 8 bows and a Minuteman pop, or making doppel sonars of your own, because otherwise, I mean, this is just an easy clean for the doppel sonars, just destroying all your infrastructure. In this game, Frontline went for that bow pike Ulan instead, and just wasn't able to deny the age up, wasn't able to get enough value for his H2 commitment, and it kind of shows. OnlyBaus just went into H3, got his war wagons out, and GG.
Yeah, very impressive stuff.
Yeah, damn. My prediction actually going into this game was 4-3 for Frontline. So I'm very happy to see this scoreline right now, because if Frontline takes this next game, then my prediction will have come true. But anyways, we have the Civ picks for the next game. So let's head back into the main menu and take a look at the Civs.
And it was 3-1 at one point. And now we're back to 3-3. So Boss, making it a game. This is quite impressive stuff. The last map is Pampas Sierras. What do you think we're gonna get? Brit versus
Frontline Brit.
Yeah, Frontline
although
Brit
I think we see the Civ picks here.
Ira. Oh,
Frontline
Brit versus
picks
Dutch.
Brit.
Okay.
Yeah, versus Dutch. I think this is a great matchup for Brits. Honestly, I mean, I think Pampas Sierras is even a decent Brit map with lots of hunts everywhere. So, I don't know what Dutch can do here. I mean, I want to just say I think this is a great matchup for Brits, especially on this map. But maybe Baus can make some magic happen with some maybe atypical builds and pull off an upset. But I think going in, I wonder if anyone in chat would disagree, but I think Dutch is definitely on the back foot here.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Frontline is good at Brit. Brit is a strong civilization, and we already saw Brit take a series, or take a game this series. And now it's Frontline's turn to give it a shot. I don't know. Minimolt is saying he likes Dutch in this matchup, and Minimolt is not bad at video games, so we'll have to see.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. The map is Pampas Sierras.
Yeah. All right, let's head into the game. I think we've loaded it up. Let's not waste any time and get right into the action. All right. How about you do the intro, Chosen, if you would like.
All right. We see in the south part of the map, we see Frontline going as the color blue. the civilization British. There will be no red coats, no red coats today. That's okay. And the color red, we see the TheOnlyBaus playing as the Dutch civilization. He's gonna start doing normal stuff. He's gonna forego getting his extra wood crate. That is just the standard way to go these days. I think Frontline may be making a mistake. He's not making. Okay, now he finally got the house on the ground, but it is gonna be about the minute 1 that it goes up. Oh wow, whoa. Why is he? Do we know why he's putting a house? Yeah, okay. Maybe he's gonna eat the. Yeah, he's gonna eat the llamas really quickly to make up for that idle time. Maybe he's gonna. I guess he's gonna wait for
That's
them
a bit of
gain
a
little bit
lot
more.
of walking time, but maybe I mean he wants to position those villas early so that he can use them for an FB later. This is a very long map. I mean the TCs are quite far apart, so getting those villas kind of out to the middle of the map early on maybe is not the worst decision. Although and it gives you like kind of like a early checkpoint to put all the llamas near that
Sure.
house. So maybe that is the kind of the thought process here, but definitely not typical. And yes, it was a decent amount of idle time walking that one villager all the way out there in age 1. But I think in this situation, it actually might pay off.
Yeah, one other thing to note, when you are British and you're playing against Dutch on this map, you kind of assume that you're just not going to get very many llamas at all unless you sacrifice so much explorer time to go and get them. And so one thing that using that villager did is he was able to get half of the llamas, which probably would have just been bosses. And so you're not necessarily thinking about it being completely idle time for just those 4 llamas, but the ability to take those 4 llamas away from TheOnlyBaus, I think, has to also be considered. So for those reasons, I think, I mean, Frontline, he's going to idle his TC for quite a while, but it might just be worth it. He's going to age. He's up. He's going to switch all those villagers to... Yeah, that's a quick age up for Frontline. We'll have to see... Oh, he aged up faster than Dutch. Wow.
I don't think that's that crazy. Usually they age up the same time, right? Like 245 with 17
No, I think
vills.
Dutch
skipped
generally
one.
ages up a vill faster. And Frontline skipped a vill and still is aging a decent bit faster than TheOnlyBaus. Interested to see what Frontline starts. Do you think he's going to go stable and maybe catch boss off guard, or just going to go standard, make a few musks, send him into his base, be annoying, and then get out of there?
I think your first military building should probably be a Rax, but I don't know. I think both ways are playable. I don't know this matchup well enough to know like when you go for stable versus Rax, but you definitely want both at some points because upon Dutch aging up, you kind of want to must-cuss timing them, I feel like. On the other hand, yeah, so this is a pretty nice nice tech, I guess, later on in the game, which gives your longbows, I think, a poison attack. Is that right? And also, Quishon makes your army just walk faster, and that's a pretty good buff as well. So let's look at the middle of the map. It looks like a Vill is walking pretty far forward. Yep, there he is, putting down a manor really, really aggressively, and we'll expect a forward base around that position. Yeah, I was thinking, so here, Frontline aged with 15 Vills, right? And
he aged with 16.
Sorry, 16 Vills. So that's like a 14 Vill age up with 2 manors. On the other hand, Baus aged with 15 Vills. So yeah, he didn't kind of age up faster because he skipped that extra Vill. But with that manor, with that extra Vill from the manor, it doesn't really matter.
Well, Dutch starts with 1 more Vill than Brit does.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Wait, do they?
Okay,
Do they
do
start
they?
with 1 more Vill?
I thought it was the same, but I don't know too well. Let's see if the chat says anything. Does Dutch start with an extra Vill compared to Brit? We'll see if somebody can educate us there. But anyways, okay. The important thing is to see what the military building is. Let's take a look. What is it? Okay, the outpost going down. Rax coming in the front. So he will be probably starting musketeers and adding longbows in later on. I think the longbow must-cuss mass for Brits is very hard to deal with for Dutch. He's immediately shipping 6 longbows. So what was the shipment order? 700 wood and then immediately 6 longbows?
Yeah.
Wow,
That's,
okay. That's
definitely
a very
interesting.
early aggressive build, I think.
For sure. Generally, I like to see the Musk go first, but I guess if you're not worried about 3 Hus being sent and you don't think he's going to make Hus of his own, you can be a little bit greedier, get a little bit extra range, and maybe deny the forward coin mine. I mean, the back coin mine is quite far away from the TC. Very interesting stuff, but the stable is going down for boss. So I don't know if you can really justify those.
So Baus is
Yeah.
going for a 4 bank build, and then with a delayed, with a pretty delayed stable, because that stable is just now coming in around 6 minutes, and that is like probably a minute later than if he had started bank wagon. But some pikes coming out from Frontline, and Baus will be trying to finish this batch of Hus before either finishing his bank boom or aging, because Dutch needs to age in this matchup. I think they cannot win by just prolonged age 2.
Already 2 longbows going down from TC fire. I mean, I don't know if the longbows being aggressive in that way, they're really gonna do a whole lot. I mean, you might as well just send the 600 wood and just boom a little bit more if you're trying to get ahead. I don't know if the idle time is really gonna do a whole lot. You do see only a 4 batch of hussars, which is nice. I mean, that's part of him idling them, and I don't know.
What happened to that hunt there? Was that one backherded? Because I thought it was much closer to the CC, but now it's like all the way out here, and I mean, Dutch has no food in their base anymore, and this looks just really, really bad all of a sudden. If they can't get that hunt, and that hunt is
A little bit of a
continuously
raid in the
walking
middle
away.
of the, a little bit of a raid in the middle of the map.
One Vil maybe going down. Nope, he won't be able to kind of commit to that, I don't think, because there's a lot of pikes coming now, and these Hus might get caught. Those Hus are caught.
Unfortunate for those Hus. Doesn't get the Vil.
Just one coming
loses
down, but
extra
oh no,
hussars.
there are Hus on the right getting snared too now. This is some poor Mike. What is going on? Okay, losing 2 Hus for free is not what you really want to see here. On the other hand, let's see what Frontline is doing here. He is going to try to finish this Hus batch, but he only has 2 Vils on coin right now.
He sent 200. He sent 700.
Oh, okay, he sent 700 coin, has the 2 Vils on the crate, so he should be able to finish this batch no problem. Most of his Vils on food and a couple still on wood, and that will allow him to finish this Hus batch while still adding in longbows and pikes. So I guess instead of a Musk Hus longbow build, he kind of went for a bow pike Hus build with a kind of delayed racks and a stable with 600 wood, but yeah, I'm not sure.
If you're playing, boss goes up already, and he's sending the church card. Very greedy, unless he intends to mine another, or not necessarily mine.
Yeah, he wants the Lancers for sure.
He's gonna get the Jat Lancers, and Jat Lancers are gonna be very strong against this. Only has, yeah, that's gonna be very, very interesting. He sees the age up, and those pikes are gonna go straight for the house. Maybe. I don't know.
How many pikes do we have here though? Like I think he
4?
just has too many pikes. No, there should be more pikes in the back. So these Lancers aren't going to do a lot against like 20 pikes, but against 10 with a minimum pop, they will do very, very well. A Vil going down, a second Vil getting blocked. Look at that micro from Frontline. Very, very good stuff here. He's not going to commit to that gold mine in the back because he's afraid of getting snared there by something. But now the Rack's going down.
Being sent in, or?
Yeah, let's look at OnlyBaus's perspective here. We really want to see what's coming in. Okay, now the strategy, the red Lancers coming in, the minimum pop coming in. Frontline definitely smells something fishy and decides to back out here, but those bows I think are gonna be left to their own. Oh no, never mind. A pull trick here to get the Hus in front. More pikes and Hus coming in, but only 5 pikes. But that might be enough here with the Hus to body block. Yes, okay, the longbow's DPSing, a couple more straggling pikes coming in, and I don't see how Baus can do anything here. I mean, these pikes are still going to counter those Lancers, and even Hus do decently because...
and he...
Oh, he's really forced into a corner here. Nowhere left to run. 2 Lancers going down, 3 Lancers going down, 4 now going down, 1 on super low HP, and there's only 1 left. Now let's move on to a Frontline's perspective. He needs maybe to add a little bit of a anti-cav here. So more pikes coming, more husks coming. Reuters, 5 Reuters plus the 9 shipments getting sent from the home city. And now, I don't know. So what is Frontline's game plan here? I think he's going to stick around, siege a little bit more infrastructure, but he doesn't want to kind of overcommit and get cleaned up here, which might happen with enough Reuters.
Yeah,
he only
I mean,
has a couple bows. Sorry, go ahead.
No, if you think about it, I mean, so Boss, he sent that church card, which is the card in H2, but it allows you the ability to spend 1,000 coin to be able to get those red lancers, right? So really, right now, unless he decides that he wants to send the other part of the card in order to be able to get those extra 2 banks, which he's not even at the bank limit right now, he sent a card that makes him spend 1,000 resources that he really didn't use very well. So, yeah, I think Boss is definitely on the back foot. He's gonna need.
Oh, almost another rail going down on like 1 HP and so much infrastructure damage.
Those pikes really doing a good job. He's learned his
Pikes
lesson.
are just
He's not
two-shotting the houses. Wow.
Yeah.
He just needs enough longbow now to deter the Reuters, and he can actually, I think,
He's
finish this
training
game in HQ.
envoys.
He just needs, I think, any bit of. Yeah, I mean, how does Dutch get back into this? Like, there needs to be like 2 miracle pops, I think, to clean up the Brit mass right now. Another batch of reinforcing longbows. That's what he needs right now to counter Reuters. He knows he doesn't have a barracks, right? Dutch doesn't have a barracks. So all you really
saloon
need.
coming down you here.
No, that's a stable. Or
Yeah,
okay, a saloon. Okay, more red lancers getting trained. This is the only thing that he can do right now. But he's so completely housed. Another bank going down. I mean, this Vilpool is like, I mean, kind of desperate. More houses for sure are going to be going down here. What can you do? What can be done here? 8 skirms being shipped in, but there's enough longbow now, I think, and enough hussars. Not enough Reuters for anti-cav. Yeah, I mean, even if he finishes this batch of red lancers, this seems very, very hard. Very, very hard to hold for Dutch. More infrastructure going down. He's now down to 2 banks. The Dutch economy is just not where it wants to be. I mean, no units, just 1 military production building, getting a batch of 2 lancers out because he's housed so hard. The skirm now coming out. Maybe they'll get a volley or 2 on the pikes, but the pikes getting put in cover mode. Very good stuff. Frontline is just seeing red right now. Every bank, he's very anti-bank, taking all of this Dutch infrastructure just right down, burning it to the ground with those 20-something siege pikes. And
if this wasn't game number 7, I think we would have seen GG called quite a long time ago. But OnlyBaus wants to make it a show. He wants to get every chance he can to stay into this game, stay in this tournament. But I think Frontline putting on a clinic this last game, showing why, you know, some people's concerns with, oh, I mean, the pikes are going down. Frontline's army
is he holding
possibly
this?
Gonna get cleaned up. Might have spoken too soon. Is Frontline,
I mean, even if he gets
this?
clean
What's
here, I
going
think
on here?
enough has happened where it's not gonna work out. But not if he keeps throwing units here. I mean, will these 4 husks clean up the lancers? I don't know.
What's
He needs some good
Frontline
micro.
doing behind this?
He can't
What?
age, that's for sure. He's gonna have to finish this in H2 one way or another. Musk combat. I mean, Musk attack now coming in. Is he gonna switch into Musketeers? I guess he can. I mean,
Impressive
Dutch has
hold.
no eco whatsoever. He's on 2 banks. How many vills? 26 vills. Some Bosniaks though. Hold on a second. Do we have a game on our hands? Bosniaks would wreck some pikes with any amount of skirm in the back, but maybe I'm just trying to keep things close when it's pretty close to being over.
He could make Jaegers if he really wanted to. Irish Brigadiers as well.
No, but there's no way he can afford mercs right now. Look at his eco. I mean, he has everybody on coin to just try to get out his Reuters.
The Bosniaks are going to be painful. Oh my goodness, if he's able to get those out and get a connection. I don't think Frontline is expecting it, and that could swing this, and we might see OnlyBaus possibly actually getting a
Good
okay,
awareness from Frontline. He has that outpost now on the left side, so he won't be scared of raids. And look at this Brit remass, right? So much better than the Dutch remass. How many vills is Brit on? 10 pikes at a time. And now, I mean, the effectiveness of the Bosniaks, I think, will be
vills.
quite limited. 60 vills for Brits. Probably
The
30
Bosniaks
pikes.
are going into raid
30 pikes.
actually, which
Yeah, he needs the raid.
that
But, I
might
mean,
be what you need.
nah.
Oh, those vills.
Okay, those
oh,
vills might die
they're gonna go
actually
down.
because
He's going
this
trample
response is too
mode.
slow. No, that's the charge ability. I think they get a area of effect
Sorry,
charge.
I saw them go a little slower, and it looked like they were going.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so 3 vills going down. I mean, well, you can take what you can get, but look at how many pikes there are now for Frontline again. No skirmishers out for OnlyBaus because he simply can't afford them. So I mean, pike Huss, and just some longbow to deal with the Reuters will just be easy stuff, I think, for Frontline.
And you look at the food situation for Frontline; it's looking pretty.
For Frontline or for Baus?
For Frontline, look at his the amount of vills he has on food right now.
Can we take a look at that? Frontline?
He had 4. Yeah.
So why is that? He has a lot of hunt in the middle of the map, doesn't he?
Why does he have? Okay, now he's switching.
Wait, can we look at Frontline's perspective real quick, just to see if he sees those hunts? He must see those hunts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why he's not. Okay, well that's fine.
25
quick
villagers on wood might not.
Oh, there's a
be
fight
the
on the top
play.
right here, or not a fight. I guess he's just sieging more houses, which is totally fine. Skirm's getting batched and Skirm's getting sensed, so that's gonna be 13 skirms. Oh, sorry, 12 skirms, 5 plus 7, and is he gonna be able to finish this Huss batch though, or the Red Lancer batch? I don't think so because he's losing housing once again. Frontline just popping him like no tomorrow, not allowing him to get any military units out.
Villagers going down too.
Yep, 2 more vills going down, maybe a third. Dutch is actually on 29 vills, so not horrible, but only 2 banks still.
This is
gonna be the fight
right here.
This is the fight. A vill pull needs to happen here. I mean, how is this fight gonna go for OnlyBaus? I don't see any way.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
I mean there aren't enough
Too many
anti-cabs
pikes.
for Boss. He's gonna have to trade the.
A gold promoted Bosniak though. Huss going in, pikes going in for melee. Longbow's kind of walking a lot because he's doing a decent job kiting, but I mean these Bosniaks are all gonna go down. They are super strong, super tanky, super high damage units, but I don't know. This is not gonna look good. Now the Cav are on the skirms. The Reuter goes down. The skirmass is getting cleaned up while the vills are kind of just left alone in the back, and that is GG. Once again, Soldier saying, wait a minute, lots of skirm. Yep, but I think he might have had to micro a little bit better, splitting the pikes. But I mean, at that point, there were just 30 pikes or whatever, and it was just impossible to split them. And that is GG, and that is the series for Frontline. What a series. Another 7 gamer. Aren't you glad to see this chosen?
They kept it close. It's great for everybody that's watching. I mean, yeah. Very impressed with the level of play from both Boss and Frontline. It was so well fought. I mean, Boss made it look close at the end, although I think that we had both given up hope, and eventually we ended up being right to not have a whole lot of hope. But man, that was a very well fought series. Going down to game 7, very impressive stuff. Will we see Frontline coming to join us for an interview?
Yeah, let's see if he's free.
Yeah, I guess that's a really good point. Just saying, losing the Huss at the very beginning for Boss, I think, is kind of what started that downward spiral.
Yeah, I actually think it's possible if Brit goes bow pike instead of Musk Huss to just 5 bank FF and then ship Stradius immediately and not even try to go for a semi. But it's very risky because if Brits goes Musk, I think you just die. But if they go bow pike, you have a shot of holding with Minutemen, and and the Stradiots. But yeah, I mean, this is very hard for Dutch no matter what.
So Baron, what do we have coming up for the weekend for streams?
We have a lots of very exciting series this weekend, I think. So tomorrow, 4 p.m. GMT, we have Ketterboy versus Carbone. Personally, my money's on Ketterboy, but you never know. I mean, Ketterboy probably one of the best players in the game right now. So very excited to see that. After that, at 6 p.m. GMT tomorrow, Saturday, we have Phoenix versus Kevin, another pretty exciting series. And so that's it for Saturday. On Sunday, we have Ungers versus Tabin at 5 p.m. GMT, and Izad versus Soldier at 7 p.m. GMT. So those two I will be casting, the Ungers and Tabin game and the Izad and Soldier game. So I'll be very hyped to see many of you in chat at that time. And finally, next Monday, we have Kinesi versus King of Osmane. So lots of very, very exciting games.
For sure. Yeah, I'm excited for all of them. They should all be very good games. And I appreciate you, Baron, coming on to help me cast. You showed up last minute, but added a lot of depth and a lot of interesting stuff to the stream. So I really appreciate you coming on.
No worries, thank you. I mean, it's been a pleasure to cast with you. This is a very, very exciting series, and I'm
For sure.
yeah, very, very glad. So, anyways,
Frontline's coming on in 30 seconds, actually.
In a little bit.
Very cool.
No, I think
Yeah,
Frontline has access to this channel, I believe.
Yeah, he should be able to.
So, let's see. All right, so yeah, Frontline will be joining any second now. So we'll have a quick post-series interview with our Oh, he doesn't see the voice chat. Okay, so let's move on to the Team Games 1. To the other voice chat.
Game.
And Craft, join the voice chat below.
For sure.
All right, I think we're live again.
Well, hello.
Hello, Frontline. You made it close for us. Thank you so much for making a 7-game series so that everyone could watch. What were your thoughts going into game 1 and then getting all the way to game 7? Did anything in your plans change from first game to 7th game? Anything like that?
A little bit, yeah. Game 1 was Ethiopia for sure, but I had a different strategy in mind because I thought he'd be Ottomans, not French. So instead I did standard Ethiopia and it worked out well. Florida, I was thinking of Italy, but I knew he was going to go Germany, and I just wasn't confident that I could beat that of Italy. So I went with the mirror, and that game kind of slipped away from me because I had units all over the place. I wasn't keeping track of where they were. And when I collapsed on his base, I was missing like 3 pikemen and 8 expo, so that game was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, it happens. Is there a reason you went for bow pike instead of, I guess, like dops, which I think are more common in this matchup?
Well, I went 2 TP, and I knew he would be trying to raid me, Ulan Simi and all of that.
Yeah.
So I like pikemen much better for anti-raid because they're faster. And after I caught out his Ulan once, I figured I could do timing and just try to catch everything out. But again, I couldn't coordinate correctly, so it just ended up not working.
Yeah.
Very interesting build, nonetheless. what did you think about the Aztec and Russia game, where you had gotten such a quick age up and gotten the Jaguar Prowl Knights, and you got down the blockhouse like really quickly? What were you thinking in that game?
Yeah, that was the absolute perfect start. I did eat cows, so I was up a bit faster than I think he thought I would be. And so as soon as the Jags came out, and I was able to start sieging the blockhouse, he had to make the choice of sending Minutemen or not. As it worked out, he sent Minutemen and he lost the blockhouse. So just about everything that went wrong did go wrong for him. After that, it was just play a game of contain pretty much.
Which you did almost perfectly. So very good there. Were there any other games in the series that you thought were particularly interesting? I guess in the Ottoman Mirror, I thought that was a pretty interesting game of note. Any thoughts or comments on that?
I was thinking if I should siege his house or not, and it turned out to be a horrible idea because I was trapped on his side of the map for like half the game. And I didn't know what to do. I wanted to spend my 1,000 coin on Mamluks, but I didn't have a shipment because he destroyed my TP.
Yeah.
So I was just unsure of what to do because I couldn't kill his Gen Mess and I couldn't boom either. So yeah, I think the opening was fine for me, but after he cut out my army, there's not much I can do.
Makes sense. Okay, so the chat is asking, Calvin is asking, what about the 3 blind culverins on New England? Was there were you expecting a lot of artillery from Spain there, or what was the reasoning for that?
So I saw he was doing heavy skirm, and
Yeah.
the way to counter that is you do artillery. And I figured he'd be shipping his own 2 Falcons, so I wanted to ship my 2 Falcons and then absolutely obliterate his artillery with my culverin. The other reason to make 3 of them is if he ships a frigate to the pond, I can basically stamp it right away.
Yeah, makes sense.
Interesting. Were there any times, I think Game 4 might have been the closest game out of the series that could have gone either way, and you just so happened to sneak out the victory. Any time that you felt particularly worried in game number 4, just in general?
The collapse he had was interesting near the pond. I wasn't quite sure how that was going to turn out. Obviously, I have a lot of value in my artillery, and the artillery can't get too much value versus lancers. So if you can clean up the, if you can force the guns back with the rods and then get the lancers on the skirm and the artillery, then it's going to be a bad fight for me. Thankfully, though, I was in a bunch of trees, so his pathing was completely awful for him.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. About as good of engagement as you could have gotten with those trees there. What was your favorite game of the series?
It had to be the New England one.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that was my favorite too. I think it was
Yeah,
very
those-
dynamic, lots of great fights.
Yeah, exactly. I think that map is fun because it's always unpredictable what happens.
Ships
You
and
have-
ponds and everything. I
Exactly.
think.
Ponds,
so
you
cool.
have the ability to add docks and go water, and of course you have the 4 TPs. So
Yeah.
it's a fun map.
So I guess moving
sure.
forward, you're into the round of 8 now, right? So who do you expect to be facing? I think the winner of Soldier and Azad is going to be your next opponent. And are you going to make any kind of specific preparations for your next opponent?
I do prepare for each map, but I'll just have to wait for that series to play out first.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, thank you so much for a very, very exciting series.
Maybe, yes.
Kraft was
Yeah.
asking if Frontline, if you end up playing Soldier, are you planning on playing Ethiopians again, possibly?
Yeah, if the map calls for it, I will. I heard he's a big fan of Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Maybe an Ethiopian mirror first game?
We got to
never
get a
know.
Soldier on board. I mean,
I'm just kidding.
that's the difficulty.
Frontline, do you have any other final remarks for the stream before we end this off?
Just a shout out to Baus. He played really well. It was a very fun series.
Absolutely.
Very very humble competitor you are, Frontline. We are so grateful that you got to play this game. We look forward to seeing you next week, I guess, in the round of 8. Super enjoyable series to cast. Really appreciate all the viewers coming to watch with us. Thank you for all the subscriptions, all the follows. It really means a lot to us at the ESOC team. You have anything else to say, Baron?
No, I mean we're gonna end stream now before the viewer numbers dip too much, or else the higher ups will be getting on our case. So thank you everyone for being here. What a great series! Thank you Frontline, and thank you OnlyBaus for a very entertaining Friday evening for all of us. And we'll be seeing you for the rest of the weekend for more casts and more great games. We're gonna end stream now and see you all later.